Slap it on.
How about now? There we go. Is that better? Right. Hang on, I'm getting more text messages. Mic on. There we go. Okay, are you getting sound? Somebody, I don't know if chat. Yes, right, cool. Oh, there we go. Right, sorry about that, folks. All the fun of the fair. I'll just delete all those text messages. And that one as well. I don't know what that one was. I just deleted it by accident. Sorry. Right, there we go. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. It is, of course, I'm just going to do a quick button test.
Slap it on.
There we go. Yes. Welcome. It is... Oh, now with the text messages. What now? Oh, no, don't. No, don't. No, don't what? Yes, no, don't. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing there, Dad. Anyway, yes. Hello. Welcome. It is Sunday. As always, technical difficulties. It is Sunday. It is... Oh, right. Last text message. Stand back from delete. What? Stand back from delete. I've just deleted it. Never mind. I'm putting my phone on mute now. There we go. In fact, I'm putting my phone on airplane mode because mute just vibrates. I'll put it airplane mode. Nobody can contact me now. Not anyone in the world, nor nothing, neither, not never, no. Ha. Hello. Shall we start again? Tell you what, hang on a minute. Should we just start again? Hey everyone, it's Fox from Model Making Guru here. Hello. Oh, it's all gone wrong. Hey, welcome. It is Sunday. Let's forget all that. It's Sunday. It's Warhammer Sunday times. It's that time of the week when I just crack on with my Warhammer stuff, basically. I prevent myself from doing other builds, do other stuff during the week, and on the weekends, I do my Warhammer stuff. 3 hours. So much for starting on time, says Space Hamster. Yes, I know. It was all spot on as well. And then the button on the microphone didn't work, and then something else didn't work, and it's like, and the Stream Deck buttons went to sleep, and I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, let's crack on. Warhammer Sunday, at the time of week in which I crack on with normally my Warhammer army, the Unending Forces of the Holy Contrivance, which is a Xeon-themed army, hence the Xeon logo in the title card, because I haven't changed that yet. But we are, in fact, carrying on with Warhammer Conquest. If you're not familiar with what's going on, I'm working my way through the Warhammer Conquest part work, and I've kind of scrapped what I was doing, which was painting it, following the magazine, and doing little videos. I'm just going to get everything built now as each month goes by, and at the end of the 2 years, and in about another 5 months or so, what I'll be doing is simply get everything built now throughout this live streams, get everything built first, and then once everything's built, we've got no more issues coming, then I can crack on with the painting and getting all the episodes where I show you how to paint everything. And I'll paint everything properly. I won't be following the magazine like I was before. There'll be no magazine nonsense because that paint job's not that great. I'll show you how to do it better. So yes, basically 3 hours of me sitting here doing some work in a little bit. As always, with you guys in the chat. I was actually really cold when I started, and now suddenly I'm just taking my hoodie off because it's really cold today in the house, and I've had my hoodie on and everything, and it's been a bit shivery. And now as soon as I start the stream going, I suddenly get really warm. I don't understand. Anyway, so yes, we're going to be doing that. It can be you guys hanging out in the chat. If you're watching this, and I don't know, the chat's not updated here, which is really frustrating. Again, it's not updating the chat. It does this sometimes. Let me refresh it. Hang on. Let me see if I can break it by doing this. Let's have a look. Can I refresh it? How do I refresh it? Does it give me the option to refresh it? No. Maybe it won't. No, it's not going to give me the option to refresh the chat, so I don't know why the chat's not working. It's ever since this new YouTube system came in with the new live dashboard that I've started using instead of the old one, and it just doesn't always work. I'm sure it'll pop in at some point. So if you're wondering what this mysterious blue box is, I shall turn it off and turn it on. That might fix it. Turn it off and turn it on again. I don't know. It's clearly totally broken. I'll just turn it off. There's no point having it there if it's not going to update. So yeah, I do have a live chat. It's here on the iPad in front of me. If you do want to join in the live chat, you need to make sure you're watching this on YouTube. So just click on the little YouTube icon that's down here somewhere in the bottom of the stream window, and that'll take you to the YouTube page where you can join in the live chat. And you should do, because everybody in there is awesome, and I depend on you guys to give me stuff to talk about. As always, quick shout out to the people that support this channel. First of all, my lovely patrons. I'll put a thing in the chat there for you. My lovely patrons who do directly support this channel. They pay the bills each month, and I absolutely adore them. They allow me to do this as a job, so thank you massively to my patrons. Of course, this show is also supported by Goblin Gaming, your one-stop shop for your tabletop model making needs. There's a link in the description below this video. Do use the link that's down there, don't just go to Goblin Gaming. Go to the link that's down in the description, because that's my affiliate link, and every time you order through that, if you're in the EU or the UK, I get a little bit of income, I get a little bit of commission. It doesn't cost you anything, but I get a little bit of commission on that, so it helps me out massively. And last of all, of course, emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs, and they now sell Games Workshop. So yeah, go and check them out as well. Again, links in the description below the video. Oh, I'm all flustered now because of that mess up at the start. I was all ready to roll, and it all went a bit wrong. Oh, so I probably missed out loads of the normal intro stuff. Let's give the chat one more go. Come on, let's give it a try. Come on, chat box. Work for me. Yes, there. Oh, look at that. I don't know why it does that. It just seems to not update all the time ever since this new YouTube system. How up to date is that? That is chicken horses. Somebody said something about chicken horses. Yep, it's up to date. Right, so 8 minutes in, and we've done bugger all. Yay. I'm going to untuck my t-shirt. So what we're going to be working on today? Well, today I'm going to work on last week, or not last week, because last week we had the boiler man in, fixing the boiler. And he was here most of the week. So most of the week we'd been icy cold because we had no heating. But the week before last we did, I think it was issue 37 or 36, which was a Primaris dude of some sort. Quano Man says, now reading the chat at the speed of Commander Data. This week we're going to start off with issue 38, which is the Plague Surgeon for the Death Corps. So we're going to get him built in a moment. I will have a quick look at the chat though, before we actually get going with the building. We're going to start with this guy, and you never know, I might get him finished in time to do a second dude. Oh, hello, there was a thing happened. Skullfish says Soup Cat. Yes, Skullfish's traditional greeting, the song of his people. Let me sing you the song of his people. I was going to say, if you want to do a super chat, that is a way to get your comment noticed in the chat. I do have the chat here in front of me on this iPad. You can see there on the telly screen, on the thing, it has a big coloured box. It puts a big box up and it makes the noise on screen, which tells me that somebody's done a super chat. And that's what alerts me to the fact. So if you'd like to do a super chat, do feel free. We also have the Stream Boss battle ongoing, as you can see here up here. It's not me, it's not Model Making Guru who's the current Stream Boss. It's actually Simon Reynolds. I've got a carpet in the way, hang on. It's actually Si Reynolds, your friend of mine, who's the current Stream Boss. If you want to try and unseat him, because you can see we've got some black bits here where his health has gone down, and the chat's fallen over again, fantastic. And we've got some coloured bits here, which is his health. You need to get his health down, and whoever gets his health to 0 wins a massive budget toward a load of Games Workshop stuff or Forge World stuff. And all you need to do to get his health down is do what Skullfish just did, a super chat. He did a little £2 super chat. That takes some of his health off. Or you can put a tip through the tip jar, which is down there, streamlabs.com/model making guru. The more you put through his super chat, or the more you put through as a tip, the more of his health it takes off. And if all that money raised through tips and super chats goes into a pot, and if you get him to 0 health, you become the new Stream Boss and you win all the money that's in that pot. Now, when Kevin won, when Si Reynolds won, he won 499 quid. And basically, I'll tell you how much you've won. You then tell me what you want me to order for you from Games Workshop or Forge World, or if you're in the EU or the UK, from Goblin Gaming, because it might not be Games Workshop stuff. And basically, I then use all your money in your pot and order those things and have them sent to you, and it's all free of charge. So get your tips and super chats coming in and get his health down. Ooh, I'm quite out of breath because of all the excitement at the start. So, right, swig of coffee. We shall have a look at the chattings and see who is in today. Now, I can't go back right to the start, but the first name I see is Pascal Levers, who came in at 1 hour to go. He says 1 hour left. So, welcome, Pascal. Quano Man, welcome, Quano Man. That's 10 minutes later. Dad, one of your mods, is in. Dad and George Gabriel, again, one of your mods, who are lovely, lovely mods. And Chris at Gross Models, all three of them, three of your mods. There's many more. They are lovely. They'll look after you. They'll make sure you're safe. They'll keep you safe. They'll protect you from all onslaughts of nastiness. But if you cross them, they will burn you alive in a really slow cooker. They'll just slow cook you to death in a really slow cooker. So they will kill you completely. So do be nice to them. They'll look after you. Eric Graham is in. Morning, afternoon, all, says Eric. Welcome, Eric. Beyond Hope, afternoon, all, evening to those in Oz, and morning to our American brethren, says Beyond Hope. Indeed, I echo that. We have Nim Cinder in. Hello again, dudes. Munches on Captain Crunch. Welcome, Nim. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's a cereal for those of you who don't know. Captain Crunch. Is it not Captain Crunch, not Captain Crunch? You put Captain Crunch, but isn't it Captain Crunch? Captain Crunch. Oh, I don't know. I'm not American. We have... who else have we got? Many people. We have... I really hope there's never anything usually very important in this first sort of few pages of chat, because I tend to script through it just to see who's in. Pika, pika! Hello, we had a thing. Down with Kevin, says George Gabriel, who put a £3.75 super chat through. Thank you very much. Chipping away there quite nicely. Thank you very much, George. That's all gone into the pot. Lovely, lovely. We have... Ghost Lyle is in. The chance of being attacked by a cow is low, but never zero, says Ghost Lyle. This is in fact true. It is very, very low and often very close to zero, but not impossible. It's not impossible under if you think like a quantum physicist, the chance of a cow falling on my head right now is not zero. Not actually zero. It's very unlikely. Very improbable, but not actually impossible. Quantum physics, you see. Quantum mechanics. Mickle Pickle is in. Hello all. Welcome, Mickle Pickle. Butcher That Model, another one of your mods. Welcome, Dave. And Butcher That Model says...
Slap it on.
Well, that was actually Dave that said that, so I had to play that button, so there you go. So you have to blame Dave for that. Who else we got? Ghost Lyle says the chance is never zero. Still talking about his cow. Yes, physics. Who else have we got in? Hey Fox, says Eric Graham. Hey Eric, welcome, welcome. Mickle Pickle says, I'm better now. I've been in the hospital, just some back problems. Hope you're feeling better soon, buddy. Don't like hearing people have been ill or injured or poorly sick. It never makes me happy, so hope you're getting better. Thanks for coming in. Take it easy though. Don't strain yourself. Raging Bassist is in. Welcome, evening model making guru, he says. Welcome, Raging Bassist. This week I've spent about £80 at Goblin. Good girl. That's a little bit of income for me. Lovely, lovely. The link is in the description below the video. Let's have a look. Where are we? Candygram for Mongo is in. Says, what's the best general purpose airbrush on Fox's US Amazon list? Oh, if you don't know, by the way, a very quick segue, because it involves multiple buttons. I do now have, and I hope you can hear me, I do now have two supply hubs, one for the UK, which is the UK one there, and one for the USA. So if you're in the US, you can now order stuff through my Amazon affiliate store. I'll come back to you. Yeah, so you can now order through my Amazon affiliate store. There's all the links in the description below, but you can order through there now. And again, it's like the Goblin thing. It's just, it helps support this channel a bit. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps support my channel a little bit. So if you need to order stuff off Amazon and you're in the US or the UK, go and have a look. If there's something there you want that's not in my store, give me a shout and send me a link and I'll add it to the store for you. But he says, what's the best general purpose airbrush on Fox's US Amazon list? There's a few on there, but if you're just starting out and you want a general purpose brush, I really can't recommend the Neo enough. The Iwata Neos, either just the regular Iwata Neo with the button, or the TRN one, which is the one I use as I knock the camera to pick it up. The TRN one is the one with the trigger grip. I'll knock the camera again to put it back. There we go. So yes, I can't recommend that one enough. It's not the most super cheapest, but it is just the easiest to use and the most user friendly if you're just starting out. Raging Basis says triangle, all hail triangle. Nimcinderin physically types the word pineapple after Ghost Lyle types pineapple. It's his job. Ghost Lyle has to do that. A couple of people mentioned the CN, the Neo for a while to CN. I don't know the difference between the CN and the Neo. Honestly, I can't remember. There's probably a difference, but I can't remember. I know the Neo is ideal for low pressure spraying and small compressors. That's what the Neo is designed for, sort of low pressure spraying. I assume it's just kind of the same kind of thing. Gaz Vickers is in. Afternoon all, you model molesters. Haha. Welcome, welcome. Cynical Steve is in. Afternoon all, says Cynical Steve. We have Mark 3Bs. Hello all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Is that Mark BBB? 3Bs. Eric Graham then says Skullfish. Because Skullfish does indeed say afternoon all. Hope you are all well. Welcome, Skullfish. Just realised you can't really see anything going on there because my hand's not moving. I have to move my hand around so you know I'm still here. I see we are all of an assemblage, says Skullfish. Yes. What's the happy haps? I think I missed last week, says Gaz Vickers. There was no last week, says George. There is no tomorrow. Yeah, there was no last week because of the Boilermans. Just Django, who's actually just Django, not just Django, but just Django, because Django's the name, but it's just Django. So he made the name Just Django, so you know it's just Django, not just Django. He says, hello, 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 quick update. It'll take me 2 more years to start Warhammer. The shipping is too high, almost the same as the dudes I wanted to order. I don't know what any of that means. Where it depends where you're ordering it from. I can't remember where you are, Django. You're in the US, I think, aren't you? I can't remember now. There's plenty of places, though. Warhammer's not that hard to get hold of. You'll either have local Warhammer stores or local third-party stores, or if you're in the EU or the UK, Goblin Gaming, link in the description below. Eric Graham is in. Welcome, Eric. What? It's starting on time. Gemma's in. Gemma Williams. Now we can get Chris in trouble on my stream. Lovely. I like that. I like the chance of getting Chris in trouble. Let's have a look. Who else have we got? Welcome, Gemma. We have Mordraka. Morning all. Welcome, Mordraka. Snowman HFC. Hi all. Welcome, Snowman. Frankie goes to Hobbywood. Hello, Frankie. Welcome. Thank you for the card, buddy. People talking about the sound. Wayne Haywood. Hi all. Welcome, Wayne. Osric 9000. Welcome, Osric. I'll zoom forward a bit because I don't want to sit here all day. Space Hamster ZH. So much for starting on time. Welcome, Space Hamster. Hey, Fox. Nice to see you, says Bassist. Dad has already asked the question. Here we go. We ready? What's on your bench? What's in your belly? Now, we have started a tradition, or rather Paul from Team Inept / Glued to the Sprue has started a tradition of putting a post up in the boom hut where you can put a picture of what's on your bench and in your belly. However, what I like to think of is that's more of a general thread for this podcast. If you've got something you're talking about in chat and you want to show a picture, I'll put the link in chat if you're not already in the boom hut. Do go and join the Model Makers Boom Hut. Yeah, if you've got something you want to show someone in chat here, but you obviously can't put pictures in, feel free to use the post that I think Paul might have put in the Boom Hut if he has already. If he's not, there won't be a post in the Boom Hut. Or just stick it onto my post where I said about the chat, about the stream. But if Paul's done it, there should be a post in there for Bench and Belly. But use it for anything. Use it for anything that's following on from what you're saying in chat. Butch, that model says, always put dot down on the bench and it's not on the white lines. OCD overload, error, redo from start. No, it's supposed to be like roughly where the middle of the screen is, but I've got the wrong glasses on, so I can't actually see what we're looking at there. That's not the thing. So yes. We have Django says belly with some hot dogs, bench homework. No. Ghost Lyle, bench Space Marines, belly buttered bread. I'll go through these quickly because I need to crack on. Gaz Vicker says belly meaty balls, bench Sea Fury and the FX 148 Stuka. Nim says bench Supernova Shenlong, still belly Captain Crunch, and a can of Logan Berry. I don't know what that is. Sounds very American. Mordraka, bench Conquest issue 30, belly chicken curry and 4 litres of coffee. Kick ass. David Butch, that model. Ham and mushroom toasties in the belly and ultramarine scouts that Dad sent me as an overloaded with chicken horses, says Dave. Chat just jumped. Brilliant. Let's have a look. Now reading chat at the speed of command. Oh, we've done that one. Cynical Steve says bench another Falcon variant and the Faux Hammer Faux Baneblade. That's the G.I. Joe tank that he's got that he's stuck on a load of like Warhammer tank parts. And it's like a Baneblade with 4 turrets. It's just fantastic. It's got all the weapons, all the turrets. Needs more DACA though. Belly, nothing yet. He says. Let's have a look. Snowman says nothing on bench or in belly. You're failing on both counts. You need to get on. You're getting to get on that. You need to get on that quickly. Django says also, my in real life dad may be a Gundam marker holder since I'm getting a crap ton of markers like 20 and a Gumpler for Christmas. Cool. Red Len is in. Welcome, Red Len. Frankie Ghost Hobbywood says, a Ford short hauler on my bench. Noodles with goulash from deer and red cabbage in my belly. Oh, noodles and, oh, that sounds delicious. Like venison. Or venison, or I don't know whether it's venison or fully mature deer. I want it in my face. I want it in my face. Lee Glazebooker's in. Welcome, Lee. Lee says, I think it's Captain Crunch. I think it's Captain Crunch as well. By the way, I have to, I've explained this in one of my videos, but if you do get a bit of a wobbly camera like this, by the way, I do apologise. I've got a new camera mount. It's like a bendy scissor like you had the last one, but it's bigger, and for some reason it doesn't stay, it's not as stable as the other one. The other one was littler. I should say smaller, really. But this one's bigger and allows me more movement as to where I can put the camera. But any movement I make, if I do, like, my buttons or my keyboard are over there on the other desk, so obviously it wobbles when I do that. But even if I just move too sharply in my chair, it kind of transmits the wobble, and it's really annoying, but I tried to fix it. But it just seems to be more wobbly. It's very strange. So anyway, you might have to put up with it a bit. George Gabriel says, today's the day we take down Kevin. I can feel it. Yes, you never know. You never know. Let's have a look. What else we got going on? Noodles look yummy, Frankie, so I'm guessing there is a post in the boom hut for pictures then. I am no Swedish chef, says Chris at Gross Models. You are so. You are just a Swedish chef. Swedish chef? Woody board, says Chris. It says Dad to Chris. I used to love the Swedish chef. I won't do that impression again. That doesn't work without actually seeing the Swedish chef. It just sounds rubbish. Spaghetti meatballs. Where are we? Talking about Muppets for some reason. Django says, I'm from Slovenia and tried to order from Goblin Gaming, around £15 for the dudes and £16 for shipping. Yeah, it's not. It depends on where you are in the world. Sometimes it's going to be where you order stuff from. Well, it's sometimes better to order more from places depending on where you are. You'll find it cheaper to order from some places than others, and you'll find smaller orders less effective than bigger orders. If you're ordering big stuff, of course, it works out a lot cheaper. Let's have a look. Dad says to Frankie, thank you very much for the package. Stolen, nearly gone. Frankie sent Dad a load of treats for Christmas. Paul's out today, so I put the post up, says Dad. Oh, thank you very much. Paul's out today. How dare he be out? Raging Bassist has started basing his Elemental, which was my weird secret Santa gift from myself in my D&D group. Basically asked Goblin to pick a load of minis and wrap them so I wouldn't know what they are. Cool. And gave them to my group. So he's got that and his Christmas Beholder and the White Knight. The pictures are in the boom hut. They certainly are. It looks awesome. Bassist hasn't eaten yet. But Pascal says, tonight lasagna bench, a 00Q Warrior SD size. Cool. That's a Gumpler, for those that don't know. Jerry is in. Jerry, hey all. Just a quick hi as I'm being dragged shopping again. Hi, Jerry. Thanks for popping in. Thank you for all my treats and gifts. Still, I had some fudge before I came on. I'm still working through all the goodness. And the wafers, yes. If you want to see me truly suffer, go and watch my latest mailbag video. If you haven't seen it, I opened some wafers that have a very special flavour. Although the fat milkshake I have is mildly making up for it, says Jerry, being dragged around the shops. Space Hamster has a creature caster King of War, and I'll be having Treberwurst later, which is the best thing ever. Treberwurst. Skullfish has jumped. Chat jumped. Skullfish is packing his mouse with something. Tangy orange matchmakers. Oh yeah. Sorry for a little behind chat. I keep muting and continuing the Baneblade, says Chris at Gross Models. Baneblade! No food yet. My bench is empty, says George. That was so funny, says Jerry. Gross Model says, eat some more. No, I won't be eating any more of those wafers. Mama Fox quite liked them, so she's had some. She's had quite a few. I won't be eating any more. Yes, but I'm not going to spoil the fun. If you haven't watched the video, don't put it in chat, but if you haven't watched the video, for those who have, if you haven't watched it, do go and watch. When you finish today, when this is finished, do go and watch my latest mailbag video, the one that says, oh dear Christ, what did I just eat? I think it was called, something like that. Yeah, that was kind of my response. That was my reaction. Mark 3B says, bench curvy lady, belly lamb with all and everything. I'll say that again. Bench curvy lady, belly lamb with all the everything later. Yes. Gemma enjoyed watching you eat them, says Chris. Oh dear Lord, yes. I think everybody will enjoy watching me eat them. It was, again, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's not watched it, but just go and watch later on. Gemma says the video is definitely worth a watch. Yes, watching me suffer is always worth a go. Dave says, you ate the wafer, so it's definitely time for stinky fish. You have to understand, if you send me surströmming, I'm not even going to open the tin. Because I've never had them, but I know how bad they are, and there's no way. I'm not even going to open the tin. If it's like any kind of Dutch or Norwegian text on there, and it looks like a tin of fish, it's just not even going to get opened. So save your money. Don't send me tins of surströmming, because they won't even get smelled. So yes, we're going to start on the plague surgeon. Not allowed to stay long today, says Snowman. The boss says I've got to go to bed as in hospital from 6 AM this morning. Dude, if you need the rest, go to bed. This stream is always archived. We'll be here later on. We'll be here for you. Won't be live, obviously, but we'll still be here. So, yeah. Put your health first. Take it easy. I appreciate that you've come in. And I appreciate any time you can spend with us. But yes, your health comes first. Everything else comes later. Later. So yes, we are making the plague surgeon. I haven't got the blurb that tells me anything about the plague surgeon, because I've taken it all apart. Does it tell me anything? No. It's a dude with death. Skullfish says to George Gabriel, congrats on starting your trophy collection. Yes, if you're in the Boom Hut, George has posted up some pictures of a couple of trophies that he's won. I guess for game. I wasn't sure if it was for painting or for gameplay, but I think it's for gameplay. Sort of battle trophies from, I'm guessing, your local league or store. Do give us some details, George. I don't know if it's from your local Warhammer store or your local non-Warhammer store, or if it's just your local club or league. Tell us everything we need to know. Tell us all the facts, just the facts, ma'am. Bam, bam, bam. The name's Friday, Joe Friday. Right, so that's all the bits. So we'll get this guy cleaned up and assemblated. Now, if you remember last time, I got one dude built and assembled. Yeah, that took like 3 hours. So, yes. Snowman says, I have a chest infection, awoke during the night and couldn't breathe, so he called the wife, called NHS 24, and they sent an ambulance. Ooh, take it easy, buddy. I'm going to guess it's the time of year, though, for anything like that, chest infections and stuff. I guess they're going to put you on an antibiotic for your infection of some sort, because it'll be the nasties. But yeah, take it easy. Take it easy. I've had chest infections. They're never fun. Never fun at all. The weird thing is, and this sounds really weird, right? But the strange thing is, I smoked for 25 years, and I've been stopped for about a year and a half now. And I'm absolutely fine. It's great. But I've got to be honest, I've had more like chest hassles or breathing hassles since quitting smoking than I did when I was actually smoking. It's like, really? I'm not even sure how that works. It's because it's purging out all the ming from my lungs, I don't know, but yeah, it's like I've had more hassle since I quit. But at least I can taste things now, and I don't get as many headaches, and I sleep better, so there is that. Obviously, there's the not dying of smoking, which is good. But, yes. Just trying to use my little god hands to nip off the tiny bits of nub. There was a thing there. What's that? I'll wait till it comes up in your chat so you can see it. There we go. Cynical Steve. Thank you very much, Steve. He says, just because I missed your birthday. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's another £10 into the pot for whoever becomes a new stream boss. I don't know the exact total now, but I think we're up to, it must be up to 100 quid or more. It does vary, because what you don't realise is it's not the same amount each time. I vary how much a pound generates for points. Each time a new stream boss comes in, I change the amount. Only a little tiny bit. So it's not always possible to figure out. But yeah, I think it's about 100 quid or something, a bit more maybe. I can't remember now. But thank you very much for that, Steve. That's very kind of you. Congrats on the smoking, folks. I quit about 5 years ago and it was bloody hard. Yeah, I've quit before. It's not the first time I've quit smoking. But there were various reasons that I decided to quit, and it stuck this time. So it is now the longest that I have stopped smoking in all the... I've stopped twice before. And I think the last proper time I stopped smoking, it was about a year. But this time's about a year and a half now, so I have no real intention to go back to it. Just 'cause I can't afford it. I'm not ready to clean bits off yet. What am I doing? I was mopping the kitchen and glowing triangle told me it's Sunday and you're not where you're supposed to be, says Earl D. Yes, the triangle knows all. Will guide you into the path of righteousness, and also live streams. Little nubulations off. Nubulations. Hopefully you're all seeing me and hearing me okay. I'm just going to adjust my floor coverings here. Hang on 1 second. My little rug underneath my workbench was going up under my chair and stopping me getting close to action. Down with Kevin, says George Gabriel. Yes, that's another bit of what we're up to now. What's George's health now? 63,275. He's coming down. He's coming down. It's a slow process, but it's like I've said before. It's like when you look at stuff on eBay. Nothing really happens on an eBay bid until that towards the end, where it suddenly all kicks off. Now this chap's sword, don't know if you'll see on camera, but his sword has been bent somehow. It's got some stress marks on it. It doesn't seem particularly straight. However, I'm not really inclined to bend it back into shape because it's not resin, it's plastic. And if I try and bend it back into shape, I risk snap-itations and breakages. So I'm going to leave. It's not really that badly bent, so I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to mess with that. Dave Cardboard says, oh hi Dave. Dave Cardboard's in. He says, quitting smoking. I had the same response. Took a couple of years before all my Ming finally came out. Yeah, I've had a few, not chest infections, but yeah, it's that kind of thing. The difficulty is, the thing that makes it worse for me is I do live a very sedentary lifestyle. As in, I spend a lot of my time all day, every day, sat down at my workbench or at my desk doing editing. So it's a sitting down lifestyle, and not very much exercise because I'm allergic to exercise anyway. So it probably doesn't help me. So I do every now and then get the bit of the sort of tight chest. I used to get a lot of like tight chesty pain type things when I was a hardcore smoker, which was not very good. I didn't know if it was like chest things or kidney stones. I never really knew. So I've had a bit of them, but not much. That's probably just all the stuff sorting itself out. It'll all come good in the end. It's going to need some cleanup. And with this being Death Guard, of course, it's got spiky bits that are doing me all the stabbity at the minute. Pain in the bum sometimes, Death Guard. There we go. So yes, if you don't know what the plan is with this Warhammer Conquest, I'll just, for anybody who hasn't watched one of these before, I did start out, when I started this whole project. This project is courtesy of George in chat, who is very helpfully, very kindly helping to finance this part work. And it's actually going to be a sort of joint venture, because basically, if you don't know what Warhammer Conquest is, you get, over the course of 2 years, and about 800 quid, you get 2 full armies. You get a Death Guard, which are these guys. They're based on the Death Guards. It's lots of nurgly goodness and plague things and nastiness. And you get all plague marines and loads of other bits and bobs. And you also get an army of space marines. So you get, in the magazine, because it comes as a part work, and each month you get 4 issues, and you build up the things, and it shows you how to paint them as ultramarines. Unfortunately, I need that, don't I? I need that over there. But basically, what we're doing is, over the course of the 2 years, I'm building these up, and when they're all built and ready, I'll be painting everything. Won't be painting the Space Marines as ultramarines; they'll be painted as something else altogether. But basically, because it's like a joint thing with me and George, George is going to get all the Space Marine stuff when it's all received and painted. He's going to get all the Space Marine goodness, and I'm going to get to keep the Death Guard, which is cool because I can have filthy weathering fun with these guys. So he's getting the Marines, and I'm getting the Death Guard. Now, when I started doing this, I was doing little videos because the magazines themselves, they show you. They assume you're an absolute beginner. You get paints and stuff as part of the part work as well. They show you how to paint them, how to build them and how to paint them. But they show you a really kind of basic paint job, which is not the best. And I did start off with 2 different plans of videos. Most of the videos were going to be how to paint it like the magazine says. And then some of them, for like the special characters and the named characters and the vehicles, were going to be how to do a proper hardcore cool paint job, not the one in the magazine. Using colours and techniques and stuff and materials not in the magazine. However, time became an issue and it was taking too long, and the paint job in the magazine is not that great. So in the end, what I decided to do, because I've got lots of other things I need to crack on with that were just not making it really feasible to do that. So in the end, what I decided was to scrap doing those videos initially, and quite simply, just crack on getting everything built on these Warhammer Sunday streams. And on Saturdays, if I've got a chance, I'll do it on a Saturday as well. So the plan is I'll get everything built first of all the models and everything else. And then once everything is built, and we've had the last set of magazines, and there's no more magazines to come, and everything's been constructed, what I'll then do is start the painting process. But everything will get painted properly. Of course, I have already painted a load of Space Marines as Ultramarines. I've done some basic colours on the Death Guard following the magazine. They'll all have to be stripped back because George doesn't want Ultramarines, which is the right thing to say. Nobody wants Ultramarines. Dave. Apart from Dave. Dave likes Ultramarines, but hey, nobody's perfect. So, yeah, George doesn't want Ultramarines, so they'll all get stripped back. The ones I've already painted. And they'll be painted in a new and exciting colour scheme, which I don't think George has fully decided yet, but it may actually be a non-canon paint job. We shall see. We shall see what transpires. Let's have a look. My monitors are making creaking noises. Don't know what that means. Maybe there's a cat on my monitor, but that's highly unlikely as we don't actually have a cat. It could be that very unlikely cow, because like we said, it's unlikely but not impossible. I shall have a look at chat in a second. I wish it was a plastic Deathcore army, says Gaz Vickers. Yeah. The day that Games Workshop announced plastic Deathcore will be one of the happiest days of my life. It's not really saying much, is it, about my life, really? Bit sad, really. A sad statement to make, but it would be, yeah. I have actually started, those you probably all know anyway, but I have actually started. I've got the very first baby steps towards making an actual Deathcore or Krieg army or fighting force, because I want the Unending Forces of the Holy Contrivance is my Xeon themed army that I'm slowly working on over time. And it's an Imperial army, and I might not end up actually going with, I might veer away from that, but I will obviously field an Imperial army, and I do like the Death Corps. So my own personal army, when I eventually get around to working on it, might end up being like Imperial Guard and Death Corps. And I have made some little baby steps. I've got Macarius Vanquisher. I've not made it yet. I got myself a Macarius Vanquisher from Forge World, which will be a project for next year. And George, who was my Secret Santa, very, very kindly and rather crazily got me the Malachor Infernus. I can never remember the name. Malachor Infernus tanks. I've got 2 Death Corps tank armoured vehicle type things already. And I've got a squad of 10 Death Corps Krieg, but I kind of made the mistake of taking all the arms off the sprues, and then I couldn't figure out whose arms were which and which arms, and then it went wrong. So my plan for Death Corps going forward is to just get somebody else to build the minis for me, and then I'll paint them. So they've gone back in the bag for now until I have time. So I may accrue more over time. So I'd like to have a Deathcore army going because they just look fantastic. Even if I never play them, just to have Deathcore look brilliant. I mean, yes, they are kind of, the whole arms thing is a bit of a thing, but there you go. That's just me. It was like I'd have all the left arms and all the right arms, and I didn't know which gun holding right arm went with which which left arm, and I couldn't. There's no markings to say which was which, and some of them fitted with anything, and some of them didn't fit with anything except the one specific arm. And it was like, oh god. And I think I did 2 or 3 of them, and then realised that was maybe the wrong left arm and right arm combination, and that kind of messed up the others. So I just gave up in the end, put them back in the bag. I will have to put them in the freezer at some point and break them all apart again, and maybe start again, or just get someone else to build them for me. What I might do is just accrue lots of little squads of 10 packs and just not even build them. Just get like 4 or 5 packs of dudes over time, and then just say to someone, here's some money, please assemble all these for me and send them back. There you go, done. That'd be great. I might get some little 2-man squads, like, mortar teams, because I can cope with that. 2 guys, I can figure the arms out. But when it's like 5 dudes all in a very similar pose, and you don't know which arm goes where, it's not quite as easy. Where are we up to with chat? Let's have a look and see. I did get even more planet shape though, says Gaz, about quitting smoking. Yeah, I've put the weight on since I stopped smoking. I spent a long time eating absolute crap junk all the time because I had the munchies. And I'm kind of forcing myself to get out of the habit, but I ended up putting the weight on big styly. I got a little bit, my shape changed, let's put it that way. Okay, that got any seam line? Don't think we've got any seam line on him that I need to worry about. Nope, cool. After a chaotic day doing the Christmas ball yesterday, it's my last day at work for a bit. Those officers are messy, says LD. Oh god, yeah, I can imagine. One swig. Yeah, because LD works in there. You do the chefing and the cooking and stuff, don't you? And the what do Army call it? Mess, I suppose. Like the police call them refs. You go for your lunch break or your dinner, it's refs. You go for refreshments. Just plucking off for ref, Sarge. I don't know what they call it in the Army. What do you call it? Jerry says, right, gotta go. Catch you later. Thanks for coming, Jerry. I always see people go like half an hour after they've gone. Exercise, says Quanaman. Oh my god, does Fox know that sort of profanity gets you demonetized? I know. I'm allergic to exercise. I know I'm allergic to exercise because every time I do any kind of exercise or physical work, I break out in a sweat, bits of me hurt, and I'm out of breath, and I'm it's just horrible. And that's sure signs of an allergic reaction. Raging Bassist is back. Dave says, poor George, he's not going to get the true and proper blue Space Marines. Yes, Dave likes his Ultra Smurfs. Dave Cardboard asks, does walking up the hill to the local takeaway count as exercise? If not, I'm in trouble. Yes. They kind of say that the absolute minimum you should do is 20 minutes walking a day, and it's a good 20 minutes to my local takeaway and back. So I get about 20 minutes walking. Of course, I put a big fat takeaway in the middle of it. So kind of takes the edge off a bit. David, Butch That Model's calling us all heretics, or calling me heretic because I don't like Ultramarines. Oops. I'm going to file this. May the Emperor strike you down. Yeah. Dave likes his blue Smurfs, don't you, Dave? I don't know. Yes, I don't know. We've had some discussions, George and I, about what colour to do his dudes. There were some discussions. I don't think anything's set fully in stone yet, but there were some discussions. We've got some plans. Some plans are afoot. It could be my cat, says Fox, says Phil Lewis. Could be jumping on my monitor. Yeah. Maverick Wildwolf says, so you won't be using only the paints from the magazine. Hey Maverick. No, when I do the final painting of all these guys, I'm just going to ignore the magazine completely. Absolutely. Because the paint jobs in the magazine, they're all right. I mean, they're not terrible. They're all right if you've never painted anything before, because they do aim them. The thing to keep in mind is, yeah, the paint jobs in the part work, they're not the best. They're not fantastic, but they're not terrible. They are real basic. They'll get you to a kind of real basic tabletop level. kind of. And they're alright, but they're not what I would paint them as. And like my intention was originally to, you know, have a lot of them painted as the magazine, so just it was more just a visual way of showing people how to paint it as well as the magazine. And I realised that was completely pointless, because what's the point of me showing them how to do what the magazine shows them how to do? But if you're an absolute noob and, you know, you're a newbie to the whole thing, you've never painted anything before and you're not experienced, they'll look fine. They look all right. But I'm going to paint them properly. Definitely I will for the Space Marines, because they're not going to be Ultramarines, so they're going to be different anyway. For the Death Guard and these guys, I don't know yet, because I'm having these. So theoretically, I don't even have to paint them as because the colour scheme in the magazine is the generic Death Guard. It's the Death Guard green and stuff like that. But there are different vectorums of Death Guard, as well as just the straight direct ones. So I've not decided yet. I do quite like the colour schemes where you get everything in more of an ivory colour and then greened up. So sometimes you see a lot of Death Guard vehicles where they're painted more of a, how do you explain it? Like an ivory colour, but then it's got a green tint to it. It's more like mossed over china than actual green. They're quite nice. So I don't know yet. We'll decide. I've got a long time to figure that out. So that again will be not as per the magazine. I mean, I might do them Death Guard, just the standard Death Guard green colours, but I'll do a lot more than the magazine shows, especially on the vehicles, because on the vehicles I'll be using things like I mean, I'll be using an airbrush for a start on a lot of stuff. I'll use things like enamels and oils for various weathering techniques and things like that. So yeah, I'm going to veer off the magazine. So I mean, while the magazine will show, it was not a bad. I rib it a little bit, but it's not. It's all right. It's not a bad paint job, really. It's just not as good as you could make it if you really put the effort in. Do. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm going to paint a Golden Demon standard, lots of glazes and them. That's not my style. That's not my style either. Yeah, not that good. I'm not talking museum quality here, but tabletop standard or slightly better. I tend to go for a more realistic paint job on my minis anyway than the standard sort of edge highlighting and stuff. So we shall see. We shall see how it comes out. Athelman Nichols in. Afternoon, Fatty Fox. How are the wafers? They are evil and made of death and nastiness. I ate no more wafers after my little bit on video. It was not the thing I needed to do ever again. Mama Fox enjoyed them. She thought they were quite nice. And then they were put back in the sealed bag in the kitchen. And now the whole house stinks of them. It's brilliant. Yes, so as Jerry did tell me, a plastic lockable bag, Ziploc bag, makes no difference. And it's indeed correct. It does not make any difference at all. It protects you not. So yes, I won't be eating any more of those. Basis says, have you tried any of the Army Painter basing products? No. The only Army Painter products I've ever tried are a small number of, a couple of different rattle cans of their primer, which were pretty good. But I'm not trying the Army Painter paints. I've only used, for brush painting, I've only used so far Citadel and Vallejo. So I've not really had opportunity to use any other paints. And for no other reason than I haven't got space for lots of other paints. When I came back into this hobby, I had like 1 billion Tamiya paints from when I was a kid that were still usable. But when I got into brush painting, of course, I got myself some Citadel paints and then some Vallejo paints. And I'm working my way through those. But I just haven't got the space for, I haven't got space for any paints now. I've already got paints coming out the wazoo. So I haven't branched into other paints at the moment because I just haven't got anywhere to put them. I will over time. But right now, It's more just a case of, you know, I've got a tin under this workbench full to the brim of Ammo by MIG paints that I don't really use that much, but I hardly ever use them, so they're just sat there. And it's like, so I do try out the paints, but only really when I've got somewhere to store them. Because right now I'm just overflowing with paints, and I need to. The problem for me is I can't just simply get like a paint rack and stick it to the wall, because I don't have those kind of walls. The walls in this house are very old, and things don't like being screwed or nailed into the wall. They don't tend to stay where they're put. They tend to fall out a lot because it's really old house. It's like 90-year-old house, so old plasterwork, not conducive to things not falling out. So got all these. It's got all these spiky things over the top. And I hate these because you've got to get the mould line from right in the middle. It's a right pain in the bum. So yeah, so I've not really had occasion to try other paints really much at all, just purely because I haven't got space. I've got all the paint. I've got many paints that I don't need more. I'm not closed-minded to other paints. I just haven't got anywhere to put them when I get them. So I'm sure I will over time. But right now, space is a problem. Space to put things. It's a fiddly little bit. I hate them bits. It's the only problem with Death God, those little sort of bits with spikes, and it's like, ugh, trying to get the seam line out from in between them can be a pain sometimes. Let's have a look. I don't need to exercise. I'm a chef. I have about 14,000 steps a day, says bassist. Yeah. However, I present you with the evidence of every fat chef you've ever seen. I saw a guy in Tesco's the other day, and he was obviously, he's clearly a chef because they had them black and white checkered trousers that you wouldn't wear unless you're a chef. And he was a big fella. He was massive. He was huge. And I'm like, wow, you're trying your own product there, mate. Too much, a little much, I think. So the running around being a chef doesn't necessarily exclude you from fatitude, I think, unless you manage to avoid. I need some tissue. Hang on. Unless you manage to avoid, you know, like the best of drug dealers, don't snack on your own product. Oh, blow my nose. Ooh. Sniffly nose. The only true heretics are those under the 7th Legion under the girly man, says Mordraka. Chat jumped. Earl D's going to try and get a Nintendo Switch this week because the wife may change her mind again. Yes, he says try because she might change her mind. Make sure you get the one with the better battery life that I can't remember the word. Before you buy one, go to, like, do a quick Google search. There's two versions of the Switch, and the only way you'll know is the serial number. There's like the original release of the Switch, and then they re-released it like as the slightly newer version that looks exactly the same, but it's got a better battery that lasts longer. So make sure you get the right one. You'd have to do a Google search, or somebody in chat maybe can put it in, but there's like you can look for the serial number. When they did the Black Friday, rather ironically, when they did the Black Friday sale on Nintendo Switches, Nintendo made the one with the worst battery, the one that you could buy for cheap, which is a bit underhand. So yeah, make sure you get the one with a decent battery life. They look, for all intents and purposes, they look exactly the same. It's got a slightly different screen, and it's got a slightly different battery in it. It's a bit better. It's just like, you know, every couple of years they'll revamp it. It's the same machine, it's just like a different hardware. My Death Guard are metallic blue armour. Osric, oh cool. Put pictures in the boom hut, dude. Athor says, remember guys, Conquest was aimed at newbies who had an advantage of us models who have years of battling chaos. Yeah, true. It is aimed at like younger builders and kids. Any kind of part work like this, where you know, it attracts people like us who do this stuff anyway. They are aimed at people who don't do this. So, for example, the big D'Agostino Millennium Falcon. Notwithstanding all the issues with, you know, Steve Dimso and everything else and all the nightmare that went down, not getting involved in that, but they were aimed at beginners and people that don't necessarily make models every day. which is why things like the Falcon and the X-Wing, they come pre-painted or pre-coloured in, if you want, with some simple basic weathering. And to you and I, we look at it and go, yeah, I'm repainting that. But to your average Joe Schmo, who has never made a model, and who wouldn't have the slightest clue about anything to do with model making at all, it's fine. It looks fine. And the construction's aimed at them. So with stuff like this, Warhammer, where you can't really dumb it down in the construction, because it is what it is. But you can simplify the painting process a bit for noobs, which is great, because it does introduce a whole new load of people to the hobby, and it does make it accessible to people who've never made models before. So I do support it fully, but yeah, we can do better. If you know what you're doing, you can do much better. Let's get this little bit out and have a look at the chat again. There's a bit in my crevice. Just scraping out my crevice, excuse me. Yes. I want a Nintendo Switch just for a few games. It's on the list, says Eon's car. Dave says, shush, it's a secret, but we just bought our youngest daughter. I'm not going to say anything. Shh, I'm saying nothing. I'll stop reading that. My Death Guard are sickly darkish green with a bronze rim, says Eon's car. Yes. I think with Death Guard, ultimately, if you're looking at playing your army, it doesn't really matter how you paint them. They're very open-minded about, you can make up your own thingy chapter if you want, put some fluff bit, as long as they play like an existing chapter. So like if I made up my own Space Marine faction, my Xeon army, my Principality of Xeon army, I'd probably just play them as Ultramarines or, another faction. Oh, snapped. Look at that. That cable just broke because it's hard to get to trim. God damn it. We can fix that. Yeah, so you just paint them however you want, as long as you say they play like Ultramarines. And if you were doing this part work, then that would be fine, because you'd have all the data sheets for Ultramarines anyway. Well, that's annoying. I need to get my round file now. Doodle-doodle-doo. As we've said before with this part work, the plastic they're using, these aren't GW manufactured plastic sprues. It's a slightly different plastic, which is actually really nice to clean up. It's quite forgiving, but it's a bit more brittle than GW plastic. So little cables like this that's just snapped, they are prone to snappage. So just be careful when you're trimming stuff. Yes, you can paint them however you want. So mine would have been painted in a custom paint scheme. The 10 Space Marines that I made, because I just recently I had to sell off some stuff to get money. So I sold off my Imperial Knight and some Space Marines and bits and bobs. They were painted. The Imperial Knight was painted like a Zaku, and the Space Marines were painted in Zaku colours, so various shades of greens with Xeon markings on the pauldrons. Now that's obviously not a real chapter, but I could have taken them into my local store and said, right, I've got these guys, I'm going to play them as Ultramarines, or I'm going to play them as Imperial Fists. And all it means is you're just using the rules for that specific faction, even though yours look nothing like that. You can't necessarily make up rules for your own made-up faction, but you can take the traits and rules from another one and say they're going to play just like Imperial Fists, or whatever you want to use them as. These are my Emperor's own Imperial theatre band dance group, but they play like salamanders, or whatever you want, You can, if you're not playing them, you do what you want with them. Paint them however you like. But with Death Guard, you can have a lot of freedom, because they're just supposed to look like disease and death, basically. They can be as filthy as you want. There are different vectorums with different colour schemes, and that's the other good thing. This magazine series does give you lots of fluff and background info on all the different factions and vectorums and things like that, which is quite good if you want to make up your own. That's a real pig to sand because it's on a curve. This is my round file. I can't quite get the file into the crook of the... God damn. Damn, son. That may have to suffice, I think. That'll be fine. I'll give it a little touch of glue. Snowman HFC is off. I'm going to go and try and sleep. Hopefully be on later for Chris's stream. Alright, see you later, buddy. Take care of yourself. Go and get some snoozage. And glue that back into place. Of course, it did the snappity. Let's have a look. I want to collect... Dave says, Butch that model says, we need another TED clip saying Vallejo. Yeah, we need Ted to actually do that, though. He needs some kind of hand movement. I want to collect all the paint, says George. George, just get onto Games Workshop and why don't you just buy, like, the retail stand? I don't know why you don't just do that. Because I think you probably can. If you go to a distributor, you probably can buy the entire thing. They have in the shop, like, the rack with all the paints in. You can probably just buy that for, like, many thousands of dollars. I'm pretty sure you could. Just go to Games Workshop and say, I need to buy your entire rack of paints like what you have in the store. Thank you very much. Please send it to. And I'm sure they would happily take money off you. Let's have a look. LD says, the new one has the better battery. Most of them, the Switches, are the new ones now. The older ones are sought after because they can be modded, but not going to be doing that with the new console. No. And it wasn't anything different to the original. It was just like, you know, any product where they do like a slightly revised version a year later where they improve some of the bits and bobs, like any console. You know, you get the release version, and then a year or so later, suddenly the cost of whatever component has dropped and they can afford to use a different component. I think on the new Switch, they've changed the screen hardware. So it looks the same. It's a different kind of OLED now, I think, or something. Or it's either gone from OLED to LCD or the other way around. And the battery life's a little bit... They've changed the battery a bit because a slightly more better battery was available and slightly cheaper. Just as components get cheaper, they can afford to tweak them. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Be right back, going to do my hourly fire check, says Paul. Hey Paul, welcome. Paul Di Tommaso, working at the Candy Factory. Candy Factory. I think that's all the mould lines on there. I've got to be careful around that bit I just glued. I think that's pretty much covered off all the mould lines. The reason I take so long to build stuff is not because I'm a slow builder, but I'm a slow cleaner. The sprues seem to be Chinese, says Jan's Cart. Yeah, they probably are. These, aside from the occasional one where you get a grey sprue, which we've said before on different shows, might be that just like perhaps Hachette ran out of the third-party made ones and just had to get some off G-dubs. They do seem to be like manufactured elsewhere, not at Nottingham by GW. Because the detail is, they are crisp and detailed. There's nothing wrong with them. They look just as good as the real thing. They're just slightly more... But it's weird because they're a little bit softer but also a little bit brittler at the same time, which is kind of weird and contradictory. But that's the way it is. They're like softer but more brittly. LD says, the only thing Nintendo need to work on is the online service, which is nowhere near as good as XBL or PSN Plus. I have no idea. I know it's kind of garbage, apparently. Or not garbage, but I know that Nintendo seems to not have quite figured out what online actually means. The whole friend code debacle with the Wii and the Wii U. Yeah, that seemed a bit nonsense. But I've not got a Nintendo, so I don't know. I know not. Django says, just curious, but for custom factions, do they have to follow the same morality as the thing you're playing them as? Basically, can my death guards be slightly hesitant to kill others? I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, I know, like I said before, you can say, these are my such and such made-up faction, but I'm going to play them as Death Guard, for example. And I'm pretty sure they would just have to follow all the same traits as the Death Guard. I don't know if there's some kind of things where you can, there's like traits you can choose from. There is a thing called chapter approved, and I've never really quite understood. I think it's where you can make up your own stuff and it gives you things to choose options from. So you can make up your own custom traits and things like that. But I don't really know. I'm not a big expert on it. Paul D. Tomas says, aside from working and having back pain, I'm okay. Side and back pain. Take it easy, Paul. You've clearly been exerting yourself far too much. Dave says, no, Django, you can play them how you like. Just have to use standard known rules for dice rolls unsaved. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can just sit there and say, right, these are my made-up things, and they have twice as good armour as every other Kappa faction. Now they can also get 5 shots per roll. No, you can't do that. There is some flexibility, but I'm not a big expert, so... Speedy Curator's in. Hello, what have I missed? About that much prep. Not much. Right, let's get this sucker built, shall we? First of all, yeah, that's one thing about these. You do get a nub on the base, which is annoying. The bases seem a little cheaper. It's where the cheap plastic shows through. But it's fine. It's kind of a pleasing plastic. It's not quite as pleasing as GW plastic. There we go. That'll look much better when it's painted. Right, so let's have a look at the destructions. I can't imagine these are going to be particularly complicated. I'll have a quick look at chat first. Scale model vamp sneaks in, but doesn't sneak in very successfully. LD's going to finish the Frost Giant and then pick a Gundam to start on. Got my Master Grade Jester, Real Grade New, and 1/100 scale Vidar. I go for the Master Grade Jester. They're awesome. I've always wanted to. I've got one of them. I need to make it. An Arrow Fox not painting? Yes, we're not going to be painting on this show for a long time, dude, because it's going to be building all the time. George Gabriel says, I want to collect all the other brands too. At least the Army Painter comes in one giant box. Oh, yeah. Don't forget though, George, you can get the I've got a really bunged up nose. You can get the Vallejo paint sets, which come in the big plastic cases. So keep that in mind. Come on, someone tell us what's for dinner tonight, as I'm sat here starving to death. I think we've done that way at the start of the show. I think we're having pizza tonight. Paul says he's taking things easy, having pain, went for an ultrasound last week. Hopefully there's nothing seriously wrong. Fingers crossed, buddy. Hopefully it's just one of those things that comes with age that goes away after a while. Ian's car says dinner tonight is veggie stir fry. David Butch, that model, says KFC. As it's him and the oldest son at home. Everybody else is out. Cynical Steve having homemade pizza with Mediterranean ham selection and mozzarella. And Mordrak... says to Gemma Williams, Games Workshop did a mega paint set a while ago. Yeah, they did used to do a mega paint set, and it was like something crazy, like a couple of grand. But that's long since not been sold. It doesn't even show up on the website anymore. You can still find links to it on the GW website through Google searches, but they go to just the homepage. But yeah, there used to be the mega paint set, and it was everything. That's quite a few years ago, though. Yeah, take it easy, Paul. Don't strain yourself. Hopefully it's just something that we all get with age. Unfortunately, we're all, a lot of us are getting to that age now where stuff starts to hurt and not work properly. It's like, oh, God, stop being old. I hate being old. It sucks. There used to be a time when I'd be like, today I'm going to sit at the workbench and paint for 5 hours, or... today I'm going to sit at the Xbox and play games all day because of some reason or other. Now, it's like, I can't get this bit on. Now it's like, I really want to do that, but I can't, because if I sit at the Xbox for more than 2 hours, everything hurts. My knees and legs hurt. It's all the things that just stop you doing it. It's like, oh, getting old sucks. Well, getting old and having a sedentary lifestyle sucks. Yeah, let's not mince words. Let's not gloss coat it here. Part of it is my own fault. Because I don't do exercise. Do. Yeah, tonight's dinner will be, I think we're planning. We did a load of Christmas food shopping yesterday online, but today is going to be, I think, we got some, what did we get? I don't know what brand they are. You're getting them from the Amazon Now thing. They're like sourdough pizzas. Oh, by the way, I'm squishing these two parts of the hood together to get the glue to splooge up in the middle and fill the little gap, this little seam line a bit. Don't need to do a lot, just a little bit, because I can sand that back when it's dried a little bit. So I'm just splooging some of the glue out. It says me using sprue glue. Tiny little joins like this. Just be a bit generous with the glue. Splooge it in, squish it, and it'll blurb out after a few seconds. And then that's dried, you can sand it back. You won't have a seam line. Yeah, so we're going to go for it's sourdough pizza, and it's either going to be the jerk chicken one, or just the mozzarella and tomato one. But I also have a pack of 10 Herta hot dogs and a bunch of spring onions. What they call salad onions, they're just spring onions, dude. So it's going to be that pizza, probably the mozzarella and tomato one, with the Herta hot dogs all cooked up and chopped up into little tiny chunks added to it, and the spring onions, and that all goes in the oven, and put loads of herbs on it, like a load of bits of paprika and some other herbs and spices, just to make it like, you know, tasty. And it just takes a standard mozzarella and tomato pizza and makes it tasty with meat, and it works quite well. So we'll have that with some sort of other ingredients, chips or something, I don't know. I'll see what I can be bothered making. Something simple, because I don't like cooking. I like eating, I just can't be bothered cooking. So I always try to go for the minimal effort cooking scenarios. Squishy! Glue down that. I shall add some inside as well. Why not? Should do. Now I can't get inside his cloak to paint it, but it doesn't really matter because it goes down to the floor anyway. So it's not the end of the world there. That's that. I can still get to his hood to sand it back. Excellent. Let's have a look what we're talking about in chat. Fox, you're not old yet. Wait till you reach 67, then it's a pain getting out of bed, so much so it's easy moving on a mobile table beside the bed and do some modelling. Yeah, I'm only, what am I, 48 this year, so yeah. I'm at that stage where I've got like grumpy feet and grumpy knees. And that's where the grief comes from at the moment. I do know, obviously, that as time goes by, you know, I've inherited, you can see my fingers are a funny shape because I've inherited, like my parents, they'll get arthritic hands as I get older and older. They'll go all gnarly and arthritic. I'm not looking forward to that because it's kind of, you know, you don't want to look at that on the telly. But, you know, I know things will get worse and worse. At the moment, it's just feet and knees being grumpy. It'll get worse. It'll get worse. Raging Basis says, I bought a wet palette from Goblin yesterday by Army Painter. I started painting today. I forgot to use it. I am the smart. SMRT, smart. Yeah. Ray is in. Ray from Malta. Hey Ray, welcome. Gemma Williams asked Mordraka if Chris has been dropping hints about new paints. No, I think Mordraka actually was replying to George, who was asking about who wants to get all the paints. I don't know why he responded to you. I think because he typed in G and it popped in your name, not George. You know when you type someone's name in and it auto-completes. Quano Man says, I can't blame age for my brain not working properly. Yeah. Just buy him shades of orange, says Cynical Steve. Box of Satsumas might be nice for him. If you don't know, Chris likes his orange. Speedy Curate says, X size, X sides, X are sides, eggs are sides for bacon, logical progression. And Dave says, please don't use swear words like the E word. Pulty Tommaso says, I wonder what new Perfect Grade band I will release next. I don't even know what the last one was. Was it not a... They haven't done a new PG for a while. They've already done rehashes. They keep doing unicorns and X's, don't they? Who can possibly guess what the next we've done this before PG would be? Well, technically the last PG they did was the Millennium Falcon, yes. David Butch, that model, says, I woke up on Thursday and nothing ate. I thought I was dead. Yeah. That's the funny thing, like, because all from last summer. I hooked on this build now. From last summertime, I'll let you into a little secret. I kind of found out. Okay, since last summer, I've had really sore and uncomfortable feet, and they get really painful and achy very, very quickly. And it'd be kind of crippling sometimes. I'd be like, oh, I can't walk around. And part of it, I think, is the fact that I was wearing my sneakers. Where does this go? This goes on where? Oh, I see. Oh, it goes there. I thought it was just because I was wearing sneakers. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming up to 50 now and I can't really be wearing rubbishy sneakers that don't support my feet anymore. I should probably start wearing something a bit more supportive. I was like, okay, fine. But I haven't done that yet. And that was all last summer. And like all the way through winter and a lot of this year. And then they just kind of eased off. And it was like, oh, brilliant. But they're still up and down a little bit. But it was like, they could be grumpy. But then, about the same time, what also happened was my left knee started giving me like absolute crippling pain. If I just sat down anywhere for more than, an hour, it started giving me all this crippling pain and discomfort, and I'd be like, oh, and it would eventually go away if I tried to walk it off, but it made like, even just driving I was in agony sometimes, and I was like, there's really something wrong with my knee. And I think what it was, when I used to sit, when I was sitting at my computer, I used to sit with my left leg tucked under my butt. I don't know why, I just sit with my leg tucked under, like it's the way you sit sometimes. But I did that for years, and I think I knackered the tendon in my knee. So I thought, well, that's probably what's caused that. So I'm suffering from my own stupidity there. So there's not much I can do. Oh well. And then it just it all got better over the course of this year. It kind of started to fade away. I'm like, oh, it's going away. Thank God, I can walk around. I'm back to normal. This is brilliant. Because for a long time it was like, I couldn't. The only place I could be comfortable, which was really weird, I couldn't sit at the computer for more than maybe an hour without getting discomfort in my knee or my foot. I couldn't sit at, say, the Xbox for more than an hour without getting crippling pain in my knee. And I thought at one point it was related to sitting at the Xbox. I must be sitting differently when I'm there or something, and that for some reason is damaging my knee. So it was a lot of times the only place I could sit anywhere and be comfortable and not get up with crippling pain was at the workbench, which is fine if I need to do work. So it was quite stressful for a while. Because it was like, I just not want to, and then having to sleep at night, I'd suddenly not be able to, lie on my side. I'd have to sleep in stupid positions, then I wouldn't be relaxed and I wouldn't sleep very well. And then, bizarrely, it just kind of all went away. And I got up one day and I was walking around, I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, I've been walking around for an hour and I've not been in pain. What's that all about? And it just kind of went away. And then I fell over in the garden and broke my toes, and then both knees were in agony from that point. Because there was the knee that had been hurting before was now injured in the fall a little bit. So that was just hurt. And I thought, well, that's only going to be because I've fallen over. So it's not the end of the world for that so much. But my other knee, because I was then favouring my other leg, because I couldn't quite put my weight on my broken foot, my other knee was giving me grief because it was now being used more than it should. And the other one, I'm like, oh, I can't win. So that was all painful. And I kept getting cramps in my legs. Like all this year I've been getting cramps in my legs. And pain. And getting that feeling of I'm about to get cramp, but I haven't yet got cramp. That kind of horrible pre-cramp feeling. But thankfully the knees and feet got sorted out. They just healed themselves over time. Which was nice. And I finally realised what was causing a lot of my which way does this go now? Trim that down. A lot of my foot issues and some of my discomfort and the cramps, because I was getting cramps a lot. It was literally my socks. Because all my socks that have been absolutely fine for years and years and years, all my life, worn socks like normal people, no problem. Suddenly, since quitting smoking and putting on a little bit of weight, socks were just too damn tight. All socks. And so in the end, what I had to do was, I didn't even know these were a thing, but I'd take my socks off and they'd dig into my leg, or even if I rolled them down to the ankle. I tried ankle socks for a while, like sneaker socks, where they don't have a bit that goes up your leg. But they were just too thin and just disappeared down your, if you're wearing sneakers, disappeared down your foot and didn't do me any support, and that was a nightmare. And in the end, I didn't even know there was a thing. I found some diabetic socks, which are like non-elasticated socks that are looser at the top, so they don't pinch into your skin as much, into your leg. And I've got them, and they're really nice. They're good socks, but they don't pinch into my leg, and it's actually resolved quite a bit of my foot issues. So I think I've not had the crampy cramps for a while since I've been wearing those. That's resolved. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. It's just background noise, really, I suppose. I'm just stuff to talk about. But it's part of getting old. You see? Part of getting old. You get fat, and you get water retention, and you get God knows what. And I've got all these wonders to come. All my life I've been like, I'll live to be 1,000,000 years old and I won't get old. Oh, but now look at these stairs. Oh, these are rather difficult to get up and down. Oh, yeah. Suddenly realising that I'm not indestructible. Let's have a look. I can't stand at the eggs box without a crippling desire for bacon, says Speedy Q8. I see what you did there. What are we up to? Colin at Festa 67 works. I'll say that again in English. Colin at Festa 67's workshop is in. Welcome, Colin. We had a thing. Down with Kevin, says George Gabriel. Where's the? It's not popped up in chat yet. Hang on. I didn't see what you put through. Come on. Come on. Oh. What did it? Let me see what it was. I didn't see it in time. Let me check over here. It's not updated on there either yet. Come on, update. Do. What's it saying? It's saying it's not updated yet. Well, George just did something. I don't know what he did, George, because it disappeared off my screen too fast. But I know you did a super something. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I think I just saw it say down with Kevin, and then it disappeared. So it'll probably update in a minute. It seems to have not updated anywhere else, which is a bit weird. But thank you very much. That's gone into the pot. Oh, he tipped $7.50, £7.50. Thank you very much, George. Thank you. Like I say, if you weren't here at the start and you've not seen, 10 American, there you go, $10, £7.50. Thank you, very kind. I don't know why it's not come up in chat. It should have come up in chat. Really weird. Yeah, if you don't know what that was about, super chats and tip jars. It won't come up in chat because it was a tip, not a super chat. There you go. That's why it didn't pop up. I was looking for the coloured bar. They all go towards a big pot. And whoever becomes the new stream boss, whoever knocks Kevin off the stream boss throne, inherits the balance of the stream boss pot, which is all the super chats, all the money raised through super chats and tips. And basically, if you get Kevin to 0, Simon, who's the current stream boss, if you get him to 0, I will say, well done, you're the new stream boss. You now have X £100 to spend at Games Workshop or Forge World, or if you're in the EU or the UK, Goblin Gaming. And you tell me what you want and I order it for you and it arrives at your doorstep. Do keep in mind, if you're outside the UK Even though all this is totally free and you're just basically receiving things, you may be asked to pay a customs charge by your local customs authority. That's nothing to do with me. You'd get that if you paid for it. So that's your local customs and excise authority. That's nothing to do with anything else. So you keep that in mind. You may get a customs charge from your local government. That's not included. Doodle doodle doo doo squidge. From now on, I'll start that again. From now on, I'm going to assume that when only Fox's hands are on a screen, he's in stockings and the mankini. Ooh, I don't have stockings, and I have not worn the mankini, nor will I ever. Mankini might be good for posture, as it will force you to sit and walk differently. Yeah, you would have to sit and walk differently on the bus and outdoors. Pretty much. Yeah, that wouldn't be awesome. Now I can see here I've shot myself in the foot a bit here because there's bits behind that cloak that I'm going to have to try and get into when I paint. Now, it's not impossible. I can see them. I'll probably be able to get access, but I've got to be keep that in mind when I paint that. Dave said, a great idea, Fox. Cut the top of the socks so they are not as tight at the top, then fasten string to the top and pass them through the crotch of your undies like idiot mittens of feet. That just got far too complicated. It's special. Alright, these arms. Can these arms go on without affecting the paint job? Yes, they won't make any difference. They'll be fine. I can still access all the important things. The beauty of Death Guard is that... More things. One shall stand and one shall fall, Kevin. And that was a tip of... Let me see. I can't see the thing. Where's it gone? It was... £5. One shall stand and one shall fall. Kevin, there we go. I can see the thing now. It's all kicking off now. This is the thing with the stream boss. It can be quiet for weeks and months. Nothing happens. And then suddenly people start tipping and doing super chats and the health goes down. And then when it gets to like the last, few bits, everybody's like, oh, I want to win, I want to win. And then it turns into eBay and everybody starts just putting big chunks of money through. And it's cool. It's fun to watch. Yes, Kevin dies today, says George. His health is going down. He's down to 60,774. Let's have a look. The inside of the bale sword will be hard to get to the brush to if you glue it. I assume this is this thing here. Let's do a test dry fit. It's going to be... I was about to say, the beauty of the Death Guard is, because they're kind of... It's not like painting a Space Marine where it's all intricate colours and delicateness. With these guys, you can get away with the lot because they are just kind of like green and gold trim and then filth and dirt. And there's a lot of room for forgiveness where you might not be able to, say, paint a bit of gold trim, but you can kind of dirt it up and hide it. I'm pretty sure I can probably get to most of that. In such a way that it'll still be accessible. Yeah, I'll be alright. I can get to that. But yeah, there's a little more room for freedom for not being quite so accurate. If you're just doing a tabletop level paint job on these guys. If I was doing something more serious, if I was doing a proper, competition entry, then obviously I wouldn't do that. But even for a real good tabletop finish, even for like I hate to say pro paint job because I'm not a pro, but what some people might call a pro finish or a pro paint job, not award winning but beautifully painted, there's still a lot of room for forgiveness, purely because of the nature of these minis, the Death Guard. So I'm quite happy for that. I can get to all of it. Most of that's going to be even like on this arm here, the metallics. How does this go now? Looks like that. Metallics on his weapon. Again, they're going to be murky, dirty metallics. So if I can't quite get into all the little crooks and nannies, I've still got filth and dirt that I can use to kind of obfuscate and hide a lot of stuff. So I'm quite happy that I can probably get to most of that with no problems whatsoever. Yeah, I'll be fine. That will be fine. And there we have our completed Plague Surgeon. I finished a dude and we're on half 4. Wow. There you go. Completed Plague Surgeon. He's got his sword of disease and his drilly disease thing. I don't know what they are. I didn't read the blurb. No, I didn't read the blurb. Is a man with some deadly mingy things. Have fun painting that. I'm going to have fun painting these Death Guard dudes. What's next? Next we have the Primaris Captain. So I'll take a little bit of a break, swig of me coffee and a look at the chat and see where we are up to. Let's have a look. I know of a bar that Mankini would make you super popular, says Quano Man. I don't want to know, thank you very much. LD says, we're told early on to stay at work till 4:30 if no one goes in, go. 4:28 had no bookings. No, I'm so tired, I was a 15-hour day yesterday. Raging Basis, I so prefer using Streamlabs to tip.google, saves my payment method and I don't trust Google. I didn't even know there was any other alternative. I didn't even know about tipping till I got Streamlabs and it was like, you can do tips. Okay, I'll set that up then. Dave, everybody's talking about the stream boss now. Dave seems to think that about 275 quid-ish will knock him off, but I'm not a mathematician. Beyond Hope says it's just that model, it's just over 300 quid, but you were close. George says with 52 watching, that's £6 each. Skullfish says he looks cool and he's a minger. What time do we go to, says George? 6 p.m, so you've got another hour and a half. Dave says, no good yet, Andrew. My bonus is in the January wage packet, so probably going to be too late to get a big bid in. Chris says, you wouldn't want to be too short. Someone tipped £5,000. Holy crap, can you imagine that? Earl D says, see you all later, gotta go cooking. See, it got to this point when Aviad was the stream boss. And it got to this point where, like, Kevin, your current Lord and Saviour, just whacked 250 quid through as a tip and it took him to 0, so he became the new stream boss. That's how it works, man. Now we got a lot of parts for one dude here. Ooh, don't think we're getting this guy finished. It does amaze me in this part work, you know. I know what I need to do. I need to mark what I'm doing. It's something very, very clever. Very, very clever. I've thought of this because I'm very, very clever, basically. Is I'm marking on the bases which issue, I've just remembered I've done it already, which issue each one is. So when it comes to painting, if I need to refer to the issue to see what colours they're supposed to be, if I'm painting the right colours, I can say it's issue 38. Right, there we go. I was about to do that, but I've forgotten I'd already done it. So there you go. Oh, dropping things now. Dropping things now, sir. Right, so got to make our Primaris Captain. It's amazing to see the kind of the value you get on these part works, because some of these like standalone figures, I don't know the specific prices, but like the issue that comes with a Primaris Captain, you think, oh, you get one mini. That's a bit rubbish. Yeah, but you pay $7.99 for the magazine, and if I'm right, the Primaris Captain's like 20 quid. Hello. So there are savings. I could be wrong. Somebody quote me the correct price, but there are savings to be made. This whole Conquest thing. If you're in a country where you can get Warhammer Conquest, and you have been thinking about starting a Warhammer army, or just getting the minis to paint and build, it's actually a really good deal. It's actually a really good deal. I can't remember the exact numbers, so don't quote me, but it's something like you pay 700 or 800 quid overall the 2 years, and you actually get about £1,000 worth of stuff. It's something like that. I could be wrong. Eon's Car says, done Primaris Captain in sub-assemblies. I probably will, because he's got a floaty cloak. I need to be able to get into the back of that. So I don't think his cloak will be going on. Seems fairly straightforward. Body, legs. Everybody, right body, why body, only die why. He's got his crotchy bit. He's got his cloak at the back. His left arm is sticking out, so I don't care. That can get glued on. His right arm might need to keep that as a sub-assembly, just so I can get onto the other side of his bolter. Yeah, we'll leave it. I might leave his... I can't leave his... I'm not sure if I can leave his cloak off once his pauldrons go on. So we'll figure this out as we go along. I do have some guys that have bits not yet glued on, especially things like cloaks and stuff like that. I thought, Nickel, okay, chaps, I'm off to feed my belly, and tonight it's bacon and beans Mexican style. Oh yeah, catastrophic consequences, always a winner. Thanks for coming in, Athol, if you're still there. Thanks for coming in and watching. See you next week. I appreciate your visit. Primaris Captain, yep, $22.50. Yeah, so you're paying, what, $7.99 for the magazine, and you get a £23 model. Some of this stuff is an absolute steal. Like one magazine, you get the Land Raider. That's 21 quid, I think. So there are some good deals to be had. It is actually a real good bargain. And it might. Somebody said to me once, said, "Well, I'm not. I don't play much, and what I do play, I've got like a Death Guard army. So why would I want to buy the whole thing and get like Death Guard and Space Marines and everything?" It's like, well, why don't you get the whole thing, build it all and paint it, and when you've finished, you can either keep it all and you've saved a chunk of money, or you can sell the army you don't want painted and make some money back. And Beyond Hope says their total cost of conquest is £629. Total value of conquest is £1,101, saving over £472. So if you've been wanting to build up an army, or even just get into playing, but you know, Games Workshop is not cheap. It's not a cheap hobby doing this. But if you wanted to get into it, if you can afford the 629 quid over 2 years, keep that in mind. It works out, 20 or 30 quid a month. If you can afford it, it's a good bargain way to get two armies that you can then play with both, or you can have both, or you can sell one and keep the other. It doesn't really matter. It's a good way, because you're going to send 620 quid rather than £1,000 and 1,100 quid. So it is a good steal. It's not. It's a luxury. It's like anything. It's a treat for yourself. Where are we? What's the fantasy version of Conquest? I need Dad to help me get that, says George. That's the Age of Sigmar something or other. It's the same kind of thing as this. George says I need Dad to help me get that. So I'm going to guess George might be doing the same thing with Dad, like he's doing with me. Because like I said, me and George is helping fund this. And when this is finished, George is going to have all the Space Marines and I'm going to have all the Death Guard. Because George is awesome. So we want to do the torso parts, which are none of those. We want to... Mortal Realms, that's it. Mortal Realms. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. George did ask me if I'd be interested in doing that, if he wanted to do the same arrangement with Mortal Realms for this. But at the moment, I don't have time, because I've already got this and everything else. But also, I'm more 40k than Sigma. I probably will do it in the future, but just not right at the moment. Oops. Just not right now. Because all I'll be doing, because the big consideration again, it comes down to space. Even if I was to start subscribing to it, and even if I didn't have time to work on it right now, I'd be piling up magazines every week, every month. And again, it's where I put them. I'm already running out of space. Basically, my stash at the moment fills up the spare bedroom. Stash plus all these, which is one of the reasons I started getting all these built in advance like this, is so that I can go through. I've gone through all the magazines that I was piling up in packets, and I have taken all the magazines out, put them all in the binders, and I've taken all the sprues out. Clear my throat. 1 second, folks. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've taken all the magazines out, put them in folders, and I've taken all the sprues out. I've put each issue's sprues and parts in a bag, and all the bags for all the things are in a box. So everything now is in one box, rather than a big 6 foot high pile of the black package that all 4 issues each month come in. I've just got a big box with all the sprues in a bag, and I've separated out all the instructions into this one thing here. So this is all the build instructions for everything up to issue 60 something so far, and it just takes up a lot less space. So yeah, that's the other consideration. I don't really want to start a new part work right now because I've got nowhere to put all the bits. I might do it in the future. We'll see. This has only got about 5 months left to run, and I don't know what's happening with the X-Wing build. I haven't had anything from the X-Wing guys for a few weeks, so I don't know if that's stopped or if I'm going to get more. It could just be because it's Christmas, but I don't know. Oops. I need to clear my throat again. Hang on. Swig of coffee. It's another thing that since I've given up smoking has got worse, which doesn't make any sense. Give up smoking and suddenly I've always got like a throat voice going on. I don't know why. Don't forget the price of the Games Workshop figures are priced on the points value on the table, not the cost in plastic. Oh yeah, I know that. Absolutely. Which it also makes a lot of good bargains to be had. I've lost my nippers. Where's me? There they are. But even just looking at the cost of the kit compared to how much you pay for it in the part work, for every model that costs less than $7.99, you've just saved yourself tons of money. And there's not a lot of stuff from GW, like kits wise, that costs less than $7.99. I mean, you know, okay, you get an issue where you'll get a pot of like what's it called, the Astro Granite. A couple of the issues you get the magazine and you get a pot of Astro Granite. Now that's not such a great deal because Astro Granite's what, £3 something, and you paid $7.99 for the magazine, so that's a bit of a swizz. But then the next issue might be like this, a £22 figure that you paid $7.99 for. So it kind of balances it out. And overall, like we said in the figures earlier on there in chat, you're paying £650 for a £1,200 load of models. So bonus time. You can't really complain. I was able to put the cloak on just fine though. I did not let the super glue set, says Eon's Core. I don't actually ever use super glue on polystyrene minis. I just use extra thin and stuff. I'm going to leave the cloak off though because I want to paint inside it. So I do tend to often leave cloaks off if I can get them on later, just because it's easier. When I did my Skitari, I had every single one was a sub-assembly, so I had the legs and everything from the waist down was on the base, mounted onto the base, and everything from the chest up, so the torso and the flowy greatcoat and stuff, that was all on a cocktail stick mounted, so that I could paint inside the back of the greatcoat, and then when they were all painted, I just put both together. So I do tend to sub-assemble that when it comes to cloakage and things like that. You've got no mould line, that's good. Not my thing, Mortal Realms, so I'm up for it, George, says Dad. Oh, there we go. Mordraka says it's Mortal Realms, the Age of Sigmar version, which should be released in January for those in the UK. Dave's not going to do it because he's already got everything that's in it with that. Dave, check the link I've just given George. There are going to be some extra armies for subscribers. And Dave says, I've already got a 6,000 point Nighthorn army and a 4,000 point Stormcast army. I might snag the odd one or two. Ian's Car says the pot's nearly £5 for Astro Granite. Okay, it's still not the best saving, but it's a bit. Dave says, right, I've got to go. Didn't want to miss the Deliveroo man, KFC times. Enjoy your KFC, buddy. Apply it all to your face with much happiness. Doodle-doo-doo. A-doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Right, this seam line to be gone. There we go. Dude, I mean, I'd say, George, if you can't find anyone else to do the Sigmar thing and you want to do it and it doesn't get released in the US, I'm more than happy to do the same thing that we're doing with this, because I will get it eventually. It's just, but it might not be, you know, when it launches. It might be later next year, perhaps, when I'm actually at the point that I can then get the issues and work on them as we go along, a bit like this. And then you get yourself a painted Nighthorn or Storm Drain. What are they called? No, not Storm Drain. Storm. I don't know. Goldy shiny dudes. But it's it wouldn't be on launch because I've just not got the space at the minute. At the moment, for more packages. All the packages in the world. That's not a bad seam line. Okay. So one thing about these strange Stormcast, says George in capitals, not Storm Drain. They are the bestest. Did you know that the mask of a Stormcast is designed to look like Sigmar, so that when a Stormcast is seen by a member of the public, just a Joe Schmo minion of the public, they see a friendly face and are not scared by the Stormcasts, because the Stormcasts are mainly like the good guy, the protectors of humanity. So when a Stormcast comes across an average typical human, they see the face of Sigmar and are comforted and are not scared. Apparently. I don't know why I know that. I just couldn't know that. Carolina Roberto is in. Welcome, Carolina. Hello, hello, hello. Mortal Realms is due to launch 8th of January in the UK. George Gabriel, if you want to order it, you can order it from Forbidden Planet in the UK. The thing to keep in mind with George is he's in the US. So if George is ordering it through someone who just like Forbidden Planet, where they're like a newsagent, they'll do the subscription for you. He's going to get each month a shipping charge and a shipping cost. Whereas if George is able to get someone in the UK, like, you know, thee or me or any of us, to just basically collect it for him. So, you know, it would be much cheaper then for George if he just says to someone, I'll pay for it, but can I have it sent to, but you just subscribe to it, I'll pay for it, you subscribe to it, and then just send it to me when it's done. That's going to save George massively, because he's not having a packet every month then that he's paying import duty on. He probably won't, but he's, you know what I mean? He's, instead of paying stupid shipping charges into the US from the UK every month, he's just got somebody sending him one or maybe two boxes. You know, a couple of times, maybe once every 6 months, once every year or something like that, or at the end of it, a couple of big boxes. And it's all in one go then, it's one thing. So it just works out slightly cheaper, rather than doing it as a customer subscribing and getting it delivered to somewhere in the US, which is going to cost you. It's going to cost you a fortune, George. I wouldn't do it that way. Much cheaper and more efficient if you just get someone to sort of be you in the UK until you can have them sent out. That makes more sense. Knowing how George works, if you know what I mean. I'm just gluing this together. I've not even checked I'm doing it right. I've done this as the first step, and I'm assuming it is. Okay, that's that little bit of gluage. I don't care what his face looks like. On an 8-foot Space Marine is still going to be intimidating to Joe Public. He's shiny gold, though. Forbidden Planet only charges 1 delivery charge on the first delivery, then only pays the cost of the magazine. Also, you're trusting them to not like suddenly stop halfway through or screw it up. Think of it this way: if you're doing it through Forbidden Planet, what happens if one of the issues is missing? Who do you chase it up with? You can't chase it up with games with Hachette because you've not got the subscription. You can chase it up with Forbidden Planet, but they're dealing with 1,000 other customer service inquiries. At least if it's somebody that you know, like a mate who's in the UK, they're just subscribing to it in the UK, and if anything goes missing or goes wrong, they just have to contact Hachette and say, I didn't receive this month's issue. Okay, we'll send you a new one. I would, just for easiness and less stress, I'd really just say to George, find someone in the UK who can collect it for you. It's much, much less hassle. Simon Reynolds says, you're most certainly doing it wrong. Hey, Simon Reynolds, look, you've had a bit of hassle to your health today. You've had, how much have you had today? We've had 2, 3, 4, 5, 15... About 25, 30 quid's worth of health has come off you here, dude. You've been assaulted all day. When you're not here, you see, people just throw things at you. But welcome. You're almost certainly doing it wrong. Yes, I would just say to George, if you're looking at doing that, just get someone you know and trust to do it for you. And just, like you are with me, just say, I'll pay for it, but please subscribe and send them to me. Because they can do it all in one go. And at least you know then, if something does go wrong, they can just contact her. Because I've been in touch with Hachette a few times for this, for bits and bobs, you know, like the stems on the fly, some of the dudes were broken, things like that. And they've been really quick to respond, and they've sent me out replacements. So it's never been a problem. Never had a problem. But if I was doing it through Forbidden Planet, who do I contact? You see what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Seems a bit ropey to me. Okay, so that's on there. Next up we have and legs. So 3 and 4. 3 and also 4. That's not the right one. That is the right one. What are we on? 1654. More snipping. There are my snips. There are my snips. How you doing, Simon? Oops, excuse me. Burpage. How you doing, Simon? Hope you are well, buddy. Snippety, snippety, snip. Do allow me to say, while Simon is here and can't go anywhere, do allow me, on behalf of everyone in the Boom Hut, to extend a massive, massive thank you to Simon for arranging and moderating and basically facilitating this year's Model Makers Boom Hut Secret Santa. If you're not in the Boom Hut, I've not got the buttons. If you're not in the Boom Hut, let's see if it works. I don't know if my thing might have gone to sleep. I don't know yet. There we go. If you're not in the Boom Hut, I've put the link in the chat for you. Simon did, as he did with the previous years, take it completely upon himself to facilitate this year's Secret Santa. And there's still presents going out and being received, but so far it's been awesome. People posting up in the Boom Hut what they've received from their Secret Santas, and posting out, you know, that their package is on the way out, and posting up pictures of the boxes going out and stuff. It's been brilliant, and everybody has been super, super kind and generous. It was always done on the idea that there's no spending limit. You don't have to spend a fortune. If you want to take part, you can spend as little or as much as you like, as whatever you can afford. It's more about the spirit of the thing. You know, not everybody can afford to buy someone else a master grade whatever, or a Forge World this, George, or anything like, yeah. But seeing what people have received, it's been incredible. There's been such kindness gone on. People have received such awesome gifts that it's been absolutely fantastic. So if you did miss out this year, don't worry. I'm sure there'll be another one next year. But yeah, just join in next year. It doesn't matter if you spend a lot or a little. You know, because the way it works was, you know, you'd send Simon an email saying what you were looking to receive in your address and stuff. And in mine, I'm not greedy. I just said, you know, when I was asked, you know, what do you want people to send you? I'm like, I don't know, a brush maybe, or a little pack of Cadians that like £6, because that way I get something cool, and I know then it's somebody's not having to spend a fortune on me. You know, I didn't want people to spend a lot of money, so you take that into account. But you know, it's been brilliant. You don't have to spend a lot of money. So I think a lot of people kind of didn't take part this year because they were like, I've not got that much money. I can't afford to spend a lot of money. It's like, you don't need to. You could just literally send someone a brush, and it'd still be cool. So, yeah, but massive thanks to Simon for going to all the hassle and effort of, you know, taking care of that. And he'll tell you himself it was no hassle because he wrote an algorithm that did all the work for him. You shouldn't tell you that. You should just say it was a lot of hassle, because then you get the gratitude of the people. You know, it's like Scotty told Geordie, you never tell the captain how long it will actually take to fix something. Otherwise, how do you end up looking like a miracle worker? Yeah. How long will it take to fix? About 2 hours. Yeah, but how long will it really take? About 2 hours. What? So, yeah, so massive thanks to Sam for taking part of that. And if you haven't yet received your Secret Santa, do remember to post up in the Boom Hut when you do get it. If you're able to do a little video just of you unboxing it, then please do. I know not everybody can, so if you can't, don't worry, just put some pictures up in the Boom Hut of what you received. It's just nice to see what everybody got. It's nice to see that and see what people turned up with. But yeah, if you didn't take part this year, do have a think about next year. It's been very good fun. You know, some of the gifts have been awesome. I looked out massively because I got a Forge World tank. Thank you very much, George. Yeah. I got a big ass Forge World tank things. I'm like, woohoo! So yes, and lots of noms off Sai as well, which is quite nice. So yeah, massive thanks to Simon for arranging that. Let's have a look. Paul says, woohoo, Secret Santa still waiting on package to arrive. Cool, you've got fun to come. Simon Reynolds says, well, I may have organised it, but people's generosity has been dumbfounding. It's true. I mean, I've been amazed. Because I thought, you know, it'd be like, you know, a little pack of little sort of £10 pack of minis, or, yeah, a brush. But some people have just sent the most amazing things. It's just been incredible. Especially at this time of year when it's expensive anyway. I agree with Fox. Big thanks to Sai, says Frankie. Frankie's also waiting for his as well. Do keep in mind, folks, if you've not received your Secret Santa yet, if it gets to Christmas and you've not received it, don't panic. It may just be that whoever sent it out a bit late, and we, of course, you'll have it everywhere else, but here in the UK, Christmas post, about this time of year now, if I send something out to someone now, it's probably not going to get there before Christmas. Mine's already gone out and been received, but it's entirely possible that if it doesn't arrive by Christmas, it may just be that it's stuck in the Christmas post, and the Royal Mail does get actually battered and gets a bit slow, so don't get sad if it hasn't turned up. It may well yet turn up. You may well yet have your Secret Santa. Paul says, yep, thanks, I don't get to take part in much nowadays. Sai says, it was a joy to organise in all honesty. I wonder how many folks will get organised next year. I made a right hash of that sentence. Let me try that again. I was trying to stifle a burp. It was a joy to organise in all honesty. I just wonder how many folks will get involved next year. Don't know. I don't know if you'll know the figure, Si, but how many people actually took, was it a couple of hundred, I think, out of 3,500 people in the Boom Hut? We'll get more next year. I think as time goes by, when people see some of the awesome stuff that people got this year, and on a purely mercenary level, when they see people receiving like master grade Gunpla and, you know, big Games Workshop kits and packs of brushes and paints, when they see that kind of stuff, they'll be like, oh, I fancy some of that next year, actually. So we'll see. Paul says, I hope my package arrived to my recipient by Christmas. I shipped it standard shipping. It may well do. It may, but again, if you are waiting, don't panic. it may just be stuck in the Christmas post. Simon says 327 including mods, and that's quite a lot. Wow. Basis says, I was saying to Sire that I wish I'd joined in because I didn't have a lot of cash to spare, but next year I'm locking myself in. Even if you spend like a £5, that's still brilliant. Because we said right from the start, and if you read Sire's original post, it says you don't have to spend a lot of money. If you spend £5, then that's still brilliant. And we actually made it clear that if anybody bitched because they got, a pot of paint and that was it, then they'd be removed from the boom hut. We made it clear to people, it's not about how much you spend, it's about fun. So even if somebody sends you something that cost them £5, like a brush, it's still the thought that counts. And we weren't gonna tolerate anybody that went, oh, all I got was that. Nobody's done that. It's amazing. Nobody's said that. Nobody's had any that kind of whinging. But we did say, if you whinge about it, you just get kicked out. About 10% of the boom hut, pretty amazing, especially as some folks may have been unsure. Next year I'd be surprised if we don't get 500 plus. It'd be cool. The only big nightmare I ever have is what happens when stuff doesn't turn up, and that's when it starts to get a bit awkward. I don't quite know how that would be resolved, because obviously I don't know if you'd then have to explain. You'd have to tell the Secret Santa, or you'd have to tell the recipient who their Secret Santa was so they could liaise. I do not know, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We have to remember, of course, that not everybody will actually post stuff up in the boom hut. And that's the other thing, of course. That's the other amazing thing, is you see we've got about 327 people taking part. But there's not that many people that actually post in the boom hut. I mean, in the boom hut, you've got 3,000 something members. 3,500 or more members. But it's only a small number of those people that in the boom hut that actually post stuff up in the boom hut, or who post regularly. So saying to me 327 people, I can't even think of 327 people that are regular posters in the boom hut. They might be just lurkers, which is brilliant that so many people who don't even usually post took part. It's fantastic. Makes it even better. I know we didn't spend much, but I would have felt guilty. But next year, I'm definitely in, says Raging Bassist. Simon Reynolds says, if that happens, I'd speak to the sender. If they dodged, they'd be booted. Oh dear. Yes, and I'd personally send the recipient who didn't receive a gift a gift. Yeah, that's the thing. If somebody who joined in with the whole thing said, I will send stuff out and I'll get stuff and put the name in the pot, and then received gifts but didn't send any gifts out, yeah, we wouldn't keep them in the boom hut. They would be removed. Because that's not how it works. You don't do it to receive, you do it to just have fun. We wouldn't tolerate that. But I know we did it last year and there were no problems, so I'm sure I can't see anybody doing that. Obviously, I'm assuming that most people are clever enough to have kept a receipt of posting. Even if they haven't sent it tracked or anything, most people will keep a receipt of some sort of postage. I know personally that my Secret Santa has been received, so I can throw my receipts away now. But if you have sent stuff out, don't throw the receipts away. Just keep them just to be certain. Especially if you're sending it outside the country, wherever you are. Just so that if it does come up with a person saying they've not received it, and Simon gets in touch, you can say, it was sent out, here's the receipt, it's clearly disappeared in the post. Because that's inevitably going to happen at some point for somebody. Which is sad, but it probably will. Damn them all to heck, they sent beans, not gravy. There's an ongoing thing with Dad getting no gravy when he orders. For these people that order through Deliveroo and they, like, the guy goes to the KFC and gets the food and brings it to you, they have to be trusting that A, KFC don't screw the food up order in the first place, and B, the guy at Deliveroo doesn't screw the food or order up on the way back. So the number of times people have ordered like through things like Deliveroo and they get the wrong thing, and it's like, just go to KFC, just go, just do it, just go. As a model making guru says Simon Reynolds, keep your personal receipts. Whilst I asked if you were able to send tracked, you couldn't. That's fine. Just proof of postage is all he cares about. Yeah, you don't have to send everything tracked and signed for, because it is extra expense. But as long as you've just kept the proof that you have actually posted your stuff out, that's fine. But I don't expect it to be any problems. Because you know why? Because people in the Boom Hut are just awesome. But if you do have any problems, if you haven't received your Secret Santa by, say, New Year, just let Simon know. Or if you haven't received it by Christmas, you know, let Si know. Keep in mind, of course, that I'm sure, like everybody else, Si might be away with family. So don't expect an instant response. But we'll get you sorted out. Dave says, yes, now I know how Dad feels. Yes, because Dad ordered a KFC once and got no gravy and was most upset. And there's a whole thing now about every time we order KFC, you send a picture of your gravy to Dad. Yeah. And now I really want KFC. God damn it. The other day I went to KFC. You may have seen my tweets, my raging tweets. I went to KFC and ordered they had the Christmas box thing where you get the big fat burger with all the relish and stuff on it. And I said to the guy behind the counter, I would like one of those, please, pointing to the enormous poster above him that said, here is the Christmas thing box. I want one of those. In fact, I want two of those, please. I will have two of those special seasonal Christmas dinners. And when I got home, I had two half-assed chicken burgers. It was bun, burger, a smear of mayonnaise, a tiny piece of lettuce, bun, and that was it, and some chips. And I'm like, that is not even the correct thing. So I went back in the next day and said, I ordered the Christmas thing with the fatness and the veg and the lettuce and the cranberry sauce and all the other bits and bobs and something else in the bun. And I got the most half-arsed crappy chicken burger in the world that I can get better from my local round the corner $2.99 for a chicken burger meal. Anyway, well, can't help you because the receipt says, I got the receipt and he said, yeah, that's just two standard chicken burger meals. So I'm like, so I told the guy I wanted a specific thing. He ordered completely the wrong thing, but because he made the mistake and I didn't notice, you can't do anything about it. No, because basically he gave you what's on the receipt. He gave you what he ordered for you. And even though it was the wrong thing, yeah, we've got no way to prove that you didn't ask him for that. I'm like, ugh. By that point, I'd already sent off a snotty tweet and to KFC. And I'd also contacted KFC on Facebook with a message saying, this is what I ordered and this is what I got. What the hell? So the guy at the store's like, yeah, sorry, can't help you because tough. Your receipt shows what you got. But KFC came back the next day and said, we'll send you a voucher. Sorry about that. Yes. It's like, he said, if you'd come back that night where the same manager was there and would have recognised you and said, I asked him for this and I got this, they would have been like, you know what, yeah, we'll just refund you or something. But because I'm a different manager and none of us were here and I don't know what you actually physically asked for and I can't ask the guy because he's not here, I'm like, okay, well, I can see your point. But no, I just wait for the receipt for the free voucher to turn up. Woohoo! But it's like, I'm not really sure how he managed to get completely the wrong product. It's like a limited run special Christmas product. I would like the Christmas burger box thing, please. And his brain goes, he wants a basic burger. Don't quite understand how that works. Right, I've made a complete hash of that panel line there. It's gone a bit wonky. to worry, we can try and fix it. But yeah, just goes to show, social media is your friend. If something goes wrong, shout about it on social media, you get it fixed. Never fails me. Right, so the panel line on the back of his leg there was a bit indistinct because I'd sanded it back. So I hacked it around with my scribing tool a little bit. It looked a bit gnarly, and then a touch of extra thin just softened all the gnarly rough edges that I put in with the scribing tool. And now it looks like a nice smooth line again. Cool. Seam line, and then we'll glue these together. Seam line there, but a little one. Seam line down the middle of his knee. Seam line on my knee. So glad most food places here have their own delivery drivers. I wish things like McDonald's and KFC actually had deliveries, because that'd be brilliant. I really wish they did. They don't. Fun fact, Dave, says Simon Reynolds, if you're in Deliveroo customer support, you should get a voucher for the entire cost of the order. I did that once with the screwed up order from Wagamama's. They missed one dish. Full refund in the form of a voucher. Dad has a special everlasting pot of KFC gravy. And then Cyrus it, but FFS, now I need KFC for dinner. Yeah. I really don't want pizza now. I really want KFC. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, that's the thing about takeaway food. It's not good for you, and it's mostly crappy, but when people start talking about it, my God, do you want it? It's just something your brain goes, oh, I need that now. I need that in my face. I need that in my face. I don't know how KFC is over in the UK, but here in Canada the size and quality has diminished. I've only been eating KFC for about a year. I know it sounds weird, but I'd never really had KFC up till about a year ago, and my mind was blown. The one thing I just hate, though, about KFC, and it's the best chicken they do. Well, you've got two types of chicken with KFC: stuff with bones in and stuff with no bones in. And basically, the boneless stuff is great. You just eat it. You go, nom nom nom. Chicken's gone. I'm fat. Hello. The stuff with bones, the hot wings are great because you just go nom 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 nom. Gone. You don't have to think about it. Everything's edible. The chunk that's just a chunk of chicken like this, that's like half a rib cage or something. I can't be doing that because you've got to faff around and you can't just nom it. What I really want is like a bucket of drumsticks, because a drumstick is like a wing. You can just go nom 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 nom, gone, and you got a bone left, and you don't have to think. It's loads of meat, and you get a bone, and there's no faffing about. But trying to get drumsticks out of KFC is like trying to get blood from a stone. To make this thing worse, when I ordered this special Christmas box meal, on the photograph it has a drumstick. And he said, what chicken do you want with it? And I said, can I have drumsticks in both, please? He went, yes, certainly you can. And then when I got home, it was that crappy burger with nothing on and a chunk of the rib cage type stuff, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. And it's like, oh, you didn't even get that right, you absolute mouth breather. So I just wish they were a bit more handy with the drumsticks, because if I could just eat drumsticks boneless and hot wings, that'd be perfect. If I could get a bucket of drumsticks, I'd be the happiest customer in the world. But they just seem to be like, no, I can't do that. We've only got like 3 in the entire store. What? It's like, well, I'm buying the big, like, random choice bucket. Can you put as many drumsticks in there as possible? Well, we'll see what we've got. I don't know how many we've got. Your KFC, you sell chicken. Shouldn't you have an endless supply of basically chicken of all kinds? I don't know. Raging Basis says, I kicked up a stink about dinosaur jammy dodgers. I thought their little hole would be a footprint. Nah, just different packaging. Got a few free packs. Cool. Mordraka says, calling it a night. Can't keep my eyes open much longer. Thanks for popping in, Mordraka. Always nice to see you. See you next time. Dad's got to go. He's had a fall. Take care, Dad. I hope she's okay, matey. Give her a hug from all of us. Hope she's all right. Butch that model says, no, the thigh bit is the best bit. You always get a stodgy coating under the wing bit. Yeah, but you've got to fart about and get the meat out, and that's what I can't be doing. When you've got a beard, can't be doing with that. Yeah, take care, Dad. Hope he's okay. Big hugs from all of us. Right, that's that bit. Let's clean this piece up. We're on 5:15. We're not going to get this guy finished. Not in this show. I'll finish him off later on. While we're doing this bit, quick reminder as always, don't forget, of course, this show, if this works, if my buttons haven't gone to sleep, let me see if it works. Yep. Show is supported by a number of different people. First of all, Goblin Gaming. Your one-stop shop for all your tabletop gaming needs. Not just Games Workshop, but everything from Games Workshop, Conflict 47, Malifaux, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon card trading game, all that kind of stuff. Anything tabletop related that's not video game, basically, they are your go-to. Tons of great prices. 20% off all Games Workshop, Malifaux and Conflict 47. 20% off RRP. So you can't deny that. If you're in the EU or the UK, they will ship to you. There's a link in the description below the video, or the link in the chat there. Use that link, and don't just go to their website, but use that specific link, and that will tell them that I sent you, that you've come from me, and they'll pay me a little bit of commission. It won't cost you a penny, won't cost you anything extra, but I'll earn a little bit of commission on everything you order. So do feel free to help support this channel with that. Of course, as well, emodels.co.uk is my official channel sponsor. They now also stock the Games Workshop, and they also stock pretty much everything else you need for your traditional model making needs. Phil Lewis, need to go myself, food to be cooked. Take care, Phil. See you soon, buddy. Yeah, eModels are your more traditional model making dudes for tools and everything you need, so give them a check. Again, link in the description below the video. And last of all, to my patrons, my lovely, lovely patrons who support me financially month in, month out. They take their own hard-earned monies and help support me. And I can never thank them enough. It's a super, super kind thing that they do. Their incredible generosity means that I can do things like this live stream and other builds and everything else as we go along. So massive, massive thank you to those guys and girls. They are awesome. Fluffy patrons, says Chris at Gross Models. Fluffy patrons. Now, there's no way, if you want to support the store, I'm talking about. If you want to support the channel, but you don't particularly want to necessarily become a patron, then one other way you can help support the channel is to use my Amazon store. If you're in the US or the UK, you can actually use either of my Amazon stores. Supply Hub, US and UK specifically, and basically, again, it doesn't cost you anything. I hope you can hear me, by the way, at this point. Doesn't cost you anything. I'm assuming you can hear me when they're on screen. I don't know. I've set it up. You should be able to. It doesn't cost you anything extra. You're just getting whatever you were going to get from Amazon anyway. But again, it's an affiliate link, so it helps me out. You do support me indirectly. Amazon know that I've sent you, and it helps me out. So if you want to order something from Amazon, before you go and order it, just have a quick look at that link. Link's in the description below, and just see if it's something I've got in my store. If not, you're more than welcome to give me a shout, and I can add it literally within minutes. Si says you can hear me, so I'll put that back up in case you want the link. There you go. Yeah, if there's something there that you want, just let me know, and I can add it within seconds. Even if it's not model making stuff, you'll see there's a little thing there called other stuff. That's just when somebody said, I need to order a slow cooker or something. Can you just put it on your store and I'll order it through there? Yeah, go on then. I can put anything on there. So check them out. Right, I'll come back. Hang on. There we go. So yeah, there's many ways you can help support this channel. And don't forget, of course, the simplest and absolutely free way to support this channel is not only to like the video, any video you watch of mine, make sure to give it a thumbs up, because that affects how my video appears in searches. So every time you watch one of my videos, make sure to give it a nice big fat thumbs up, because that just makes it appear better in in the YouTube searches. And also click the notification bell. And you might not know this, but when you go onto the channel page, or at any point where you see the notification bell next to the subscribe button, you may not realise this, but if you click on it, you actually get multiple options. If you just click on it, you get occasional notifications. If you click on it and look at the options, you get an option for all. And if you select all, it just means it will let you know every time I upload a video or start a live stream. You won't ever miss out. It'll let you know every single time. Because I click on the bell for some channels and it'd be like, I'm still not getting notifications, but it's because I hadn't selected the all option. They changed it and didn't tell anybody again. So a lot of people didn't realise there was actually an option there. So I'll do that on camera, shall I? So make sure to always like, if you want to support the people whose content you like, always click the like button, because it does help your favourite creators. It helps their videos appear better in chat, become more prominent. If a video has like 1 billion thumbs ups, then it just means it appears more prominently in any YouTube searches. It's always worth doing. Always a good idea. Little splodge of glue to stick this down. But again, these are things I didn't. I mean, I'm a YouTuber. I've got a chat. Even I didn't know all that stuff about clicking on the thumbs up makes it more prominent. I didn't know that, because YouTube never tell you this stuff. You have to kind of find it out yourself through other means. Let's push that back a bit so it's not sticking out over the edge so much. There we go. He's standing on a little device. Now, I have to admit, when you see these dudes like where they've got their foot on a little bit of scenery, I always have a little bit of a chuckle, because, and I'll tell you why, because when I was much younger and I was sort of teaching myself how to draw and stuff, I was at school, what I'd do is I'd have like something I want to draw, like kind of like a setting, and I'd draw a character in that setting. But then I'd realise that I'd drawn the character in such a way that one leg, it looked like he was standing in place, but one foot was kind of floating in midair unintentionally, because just the way you draw things sometimes, you get the pose just right and then realise, hang on, if I draw some scenery around him, his foot's going to be in midair. So you'd have to just tactically like put a rock under his foot, or a branch, or a piece of scenery and stuff. So every time I see a dude with a foot up on something, it makes me think that the guy designed the foot. That looks brilliant. Oh wait, his feet aren't level. Oh, I'll just fudge it and let's give him some scenery. So I'm always reminded of that. It used to happen all the time. I'd have a brilliant pose. I'd have the whole picture in my mind. I'd get like two guys fighting or having a sword fight, whatever I was drawing. It doesn't really matter. Whatever I was drawing, I'd have two guys there set up in combat, and I suddenly realised that one was like an inch off the ground. I'd be like, oh, flange. So you just have to, you sort it out, you cobble it together, and you know. What's chat doing? I'll leave that for a second. Zadsta's in. Hello all, just in for the last few minutes. Hello. Gross Model says you can support this channel by sending me durian flavoured foodstuffs. No. Quino Man says I need a mankini. He means mankini, not me. Butch That Model says sigh, don't get the Christmas chips, they are horrible. That's KFC. Other fried chicken outlets are available. Simon Reynolds says, I think I tried those last year, Dave. The Butcher That Model. They reminded me of roast chicken Walkers with AIDS. For those outside the UK, roast chicken Walkers are crisps. Walker's crisps. There's a brand of crisps. In the US, they're called Lay's. It's the same brand, just different name, Lay's. Roast chicken Walkers with AIDS. Not nice at all. Don't know if you've done this, says Zadster, but on this day in 1964, and I need a prop for this, on this day in 1964, the Canadian House of Commons approved the design for the Canadian national flag. I can't play the thing because it says thanks for watching before it starts the theme tune. I didn't realise it was that recent. Cool. Oh, hello. What? Whoa. Wow. Guys and girls, we have a new stream boss. Holy cow. Holy. Wow. George has just slapped through a big fat load of money as a tip. And George is now your new stream boss. Whoa! Simon Reynolds says, that's it, let me get my wallet. George has just popped through like 300 quid. Just unthrown Simon Reynolds massively. Booyah, says Skullfish. Blimey, that's a load of money dumped into that. Merry Christmas, George. Wow, down with Kevin, says George. Holy Jesus, wow. That's incredible. Dude. You're the new stream boss. I shall contact you after the show with your stream budget, so you know how much you've got. Wow. That's insane. Wow. Congratulations to our new stream boss. All hail George, the new god of the stream. Well, there you go. Candygram saying, all hail George, and Osric saying, down with George. The battle lines are already being drawn. Let me just put this flag back up there. Hang on. Oh, hang on, I'll put it over there out of the way. I am the new god, says George. I, for one, welcome our new stream boss overlord, says Cynical Steve. Simon Reynolds says, wallet acquired. Oh, this could get violent now. Wow. Okay, I need to write down a number. Before you do anything, anybody, I need to work out what the actual budget is so I can tell George. Oh, hang on. Let me just do a quick thing. Hang on. I'm still here. I've not gone anywhere. I can't remember where the hell I find this thing now. Where is it? Let's just find. I can't remember where the hell this thing is now. Give me, and the camera's going to wobble, I'm afraid. Do. Let me log in. Okay. I don't know. Oh, I know where I need to go. Hang on. 1 second, folks. I do apologise. I've just got to quickly check something. I shall be with you shortly. Right. Let's have a look. Okay. God, PayPal's going so slowly. Okay, right. So there's still stuff to come through. Okay, I've not got a specific figure because I've got to check 5 different sources, but I've got an idea there. So I shall be in touch and let you know exactly what your budget is. I've got like 8 different places I've got to check how much everything is and what's gone through where. So I shall let you know ASAP. I'll have to do it after the stream. I shall let you know ASAP. Let's have a look. What's chat doing? How long before Fox breaks it and changes the name to Brian? No, it's going to stay as Joe. I'm not touching it now. This is where Fox's brain breaks because he has to math. No, I can't just check like one place. I've got like 3 or 4 different places I have to confirm where the money goes. Some payments don't go through straight away. Some on credit cards take a couple of days to go through, and so I've got to like coordinate like 5 different places. So I shall let you know, George, shortly, exactly what your budget is for the Games Workshops. Would you prefer it if I don't pew George till next week, says Simon Reynolds. You can do it whenever you like, buddy. I'm totally happy whenever you like. I've got a list of the payments that have come through, so it's not that bad. But just keep in mind, if you take George out completely, you've just paid for all of it. So you spend like 300 quid, whatever you put through to take George out, you've just paid for yourself basically. You've not got any bonus there. You can pew me if you like, Kevin. I don't have a boss battle though. Raging Basis says, "Go on, do it," to Cy Reynolds. "I won't kill you off, dude, but I need to shoot you a little bit." Yes. It's a tactical game. There's nothing stopping anybody suddenly blapping through a big fat amount of money to take someone off the throne. But if you spend 400 quid and the budget's 400 quid, you've just kind of, I'm just ordering stuff that you've paid for anyway. The advantage is it's all about timing, you see. So there you go. Awesome sauce. Awesome. Oh, that's really awesome, that. Cool. Well done, George. Our new stream boss. Congratulations. Right, George isn't responding now, but I know why. It's because he's on Games Workshop or somewhere else trying to figure out what he wants me to order for him. Raging Basis says, "I bloody love all you guys." You guys are crazies. But I shall let George know exactly what his budget is. Of course, what we'll do is, George, when you get everything that you've ordered, which you might get before Christmas if we do it fast enough, you do need to put in the boom hut what you've got out of your stream boss winnings. So cool. There we go. Awesome. Right. Well, I'm not going to do much more on him. It's 33 now. What I'll probably do, I'll probably leave it there because I'm not going to get much more done on him yet in the next half hour. I need to go off and let George know how much he's got to play with for his new stream boss activities. I can't wait to just get some stuff ordered for him. Remember, George, you can do either Forge World or Games Workshop. It's entirely up to you, whichever you want, or you can mix and match both. Do keep in mind, of course, that the more you spend on one, you get the free shipping up to a certain point. So I don't know what the prices are. For Forge World, it's different. So you can mix and match, but try and get yourself into the free shipping. If not, then obviously the free shipping comes out of your winnings. George says, "Every triangle." Yeah. Man, Dad and I were sitting here waiting for Si's health to diminish more before we dropped a bunch to knock him out, says Paul Tommaso. It's like that's the fun of it, you see. You don't know who's going to blap through a big fat... Hello. God Emperor Kevin has donated £5. Hey, Kev. Welcome, God Emperor Kevin. Oh no, your health has winnowed a little bit there, George. But that's the trick, you see. Do you leave it till the very last minute and potentially miss out? Or do you do it right at the start? But of course, if you leave it to the last minute, you could put a £5 in and get 500 quid worth of stuff. Or you could start at the start, put 500 quid in and get like £2 worth of free stuff. So, you see, that's how it works, you see. Because there's no guarantee exactly how much it would cost to take that off. Because that gets adjusted. So, there you go. Wow. "'Tis but a flesh wound," says George. Well, congratulations to George, Sean. I knew it was going to be George eventually. I knew there was going to be some sort of fight. I didn't know when it was going to be. I knew there was going to be some sort of tussage going on there. That's chuffed me. That has chuffed me right royally, that has. Right, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let George... Let's have a look. I now have the total figure. Alas, it's not my turn. You are lucky, Mr. Gabriel. Yes, but do keep in mind, I might now change how much a pound health takes off. How much health a pound takes off. Because it's so many, I think it's done in dollars, but how many HP per dollar, I change it regularly. I don't just keep it the same all the time. Yeah, you see. I don't change it massively, but I do change it. But yeah, that's the thing. When do you go in early and not make much free stuff? Or do you go in late and risk getting nothing, but you might get a whole mess of free stuff? There you go. Like, because when Si did it, he popped down, 250, and he got about 250 quid worth of free stuff. So there you go. Anyway, yes, I thought what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it there. I'm a bit gobsmacked now. I need to go and do some maths for George. George, I shall give you a shout shortly with the actual amount, so you can start planning what you want me to order for you. What I will do is I will say, I won't go through all the support me here and there because we've just done all that anyway. thank you very much for watching. I've got to go and prepare some buttons. Do take care of yourselves. Thank you, George, and everybody else for taking part in today's stream boss battle. It's just great fun. Again, I don't make any money off it, so it's purely for you guys. It's purely you guys that benefit from it. So thank you for playing that game. We'll see how long George lasts, shall we? Now it's got George and Simon fighting. Who else can get involved? There's got to be somebody else in there that can get involved. Yeah, I'll get this guy finished off. Don't forget, of course, although I'm going away now, and I'm going to make some dinner and play Elite Dangerous for a bit, Chris is doing his stream at 8 PM tonight. He's carrying on working on his weird knob. He's got his weird knob on, it's War Boar. He's working on that and getting that all painted up. So do go and watch Chris over at Gross Models. His channel's in, you can see his name in the chat there. Go and watch his stuff at 8 o'clock. I'll see if I can join in the chat, and if I'm not having me tea. So I may well be in the chat there with you. Simon Reynolds says, I'm glad it happened on the day I could actually see my own downfall. I wonder if George was sitting there waiting to see if you came into the chat. Yeah, probably. Yeah, so anyway, go and watch Chris's at 8 PM tonight, his weird knob. It's coming along really nicely, so go and watch him painting that. I will be back tomorrow on Monday, of course, for the eModels live show tomorrow. Now the Boiler Man's not here anymore, I can get back into the Monday night share. That'll be on eModels channel tomorrow. And I'll be back, of course, next Sunday. Update on the Sazabi, the outlining is still ongoing. It's a long and arduous job. That's the reason there's not been much video content. I'm just inking that in at the minute, and I'm just going to get that finished. It was a Patreon exclusive build. Now I'm just going to get it finished and sent out to George. So that's why there's no content other than that at the minute, because I'm just not filming it now. I just need to finish it. Once that's been done, it's Millennium Falcon time, and that's when we'll start getting some content back on the channel. So thank you for sticking with me, all you loyal followers. Thank you for sticking with me while there's not been much going on the channel. I just need to get George's thing done, then we can crack on with the Falcon. So I shall say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome, like this. Go be awesome. Be awesome like George. George is awesome. Be awesome like George. It was be awesome like Kevin, but Kevin's on the trash heap now. It's George now. Be awesome like George. And until next time, I shall say thank you very much for watching. Take care. Adios, amoebas. I've got to find all the buttons now. Hang on.